Hello, Legionnaires. How's it going? J-Man here, and it is Monday, so we know it's Legion Talk. Now, today is a special episode. We're not going to review any comics. Today we're just going to have a fan chat, talk some Legion stuff. Going to be very casual. I would call it sort of a chill stream, but we do have a special guest, which I'll get to momentarily. But yeah, it's not going to be the usual format. It's going to be a little bit different. So I don't have a poll up today, but I do have a question Q&A set up. So it's my first time setting that up on the live stream. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it's just a prompt. Let us know kind of what you love about the Legion, favorite characters, favorite runs, issues, artists, anything like that. And we're going to keep it really loose today. So I am on vacation this week, so there will not be a Thursday Transformers this Thursday, and there will not be a Fourth World Friday. But next Monday, we are going to be back with our normal Legion live stream. So that's going to be, I believe it's episodes 350 and so 350, 351, 352. So these are the comics we're going to be covering next Monday. All right. And then the Friday after that, we're back with Fourth World Friday, which is every Friday, but we're getting close to the end. We just finished Superboy. So, or sorry, not Superboy, Jimmy Olsen. We just finished Jimmy Olsen, but we're keeping him as our mascot because we like Jimmy Olsen. So that's every Friday. And then Sean and I will be doing the Transformers Thursdays as well. And today I am also debuting a brand new overlay that I've made. Boom. There it is. Try to get as many characters as we could in there without making it super cluttered beyond reason. All right, so let's bring in our regulars.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's going on?
I got my nice,
I got the best shirt of all time ever.
That
one's good. That one's good. That one's good too.
Any Dark Side thing, yeah.
Yeah, Dark Side's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's the villain of DC, pretty much.
Ooh, yep.
Thank you, Jack Kirby.
Yes.
So there you go. And let's bring in our Fancy Pants.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
What pants? Oh, we had to wear pants?
You do.
Oh, crap. Well,
yeah.
Mine aren't fancy, and then like you fancy shirts. We'll start calling you guys fancy shirts. How about that?
Yeah. So I did wear this to the office, and everyone really liked it. The general manager made fun of me a little bit, but that's okay. I slashed his tires, so we're all
good.
Everything's even.
Well,
if you make fun of Superboy, then that's it. You can
hey, not just Superboy. The whole Legion's under him, and it's like George Perez, so he can bite us all.
Yes. So I did wear the shirt to the office last week, but no, I did not do any tire slashing. So if anything like that happened, then that's
you said that in the air, man. I don't know. So I was gonna say, did you really do that? Hope he's a jovial sort of boss.
He is. I always say that to everybody if someone's being weird at work or someone makes a joke. I'm like, well, I said that they're like, oh, we're just joking. I'm like, yeah, no problem. If your tires are slashed later tonight, it's
not all four tires though. Come on.
No, that's really mean.
Yeah.
No, that's really mean. I'd only do that to like, I don't know, people who like Eternals or something.
Yeah. I have the list for you. Well,
sorry, there's only three people that liked it, so it doesn't matter.
People? Oh, yeah.
All right, so we do have a special guest now. Beardedshirts.com, which there is a link. There's the I made a graphic here for you guys, beardedshirts.com. The link to beardedshirts.com is in the description of this video, plus the other live streams, plus just the general videos. I've been putting it in my videos, but I did pin it to today's live stream. So if anyone's catching this later on, it is very easily accessible through that chat, through the live chat, or in the description below of this video. And you guys know that once I do that, the other overlay goes away. So we had a giveaway. We had 3 giveaways. Well, actually, we had 4 giveaways, one for the Fourth World, but we had 3 for Legion. So he is the person behind Bearded Shirts and who was responsible for those giveaways. So we appreciate that. So we're going to have him on, and we're just going to be really cool. I'll kind of explain how it goes once he's on, and that will be that. All right. So let's bring in our special guest. I'm stalling to find my video. I found it. All right, here we go.
You.
You do the pointing. We can all do the. I was on a stream last week where there was 9 of us, so it actually formatted it to like the Brady Bunch, and I was in the middle, so I was like, "Oh, I'm no."
You were Alice?
No, I wasn't Alice. No. You know what? I was Cindy, and then there was an argument broke out as to who's in what square or whatever. I was like, no, Marsha's in the top, and then Cindy's in the bottom. And they're like, no, I think Cindy's. I was like, no. I'm like, no, let's not do the because like no, we're not doing the Brady Bunch arguing.
Yeah, do Hollywood Squares instead.
Yeah, I was center square. I know I was Bruce Valanche or whatever.
Bruce Valanche.
Remember, he was always.
Can I be Paul Lind, or is that a different show?
Which square was the dog in?
Oh, I don't remember. Was it a dog?
He was with Alice. He was with
the dog shirt.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh no, that's terrible. They threw it in with Alice. Come on.
Like random people in the middle.
That dog got teleported off that show so fast. They even made fun of that in the films, in the Shelley Long films, where they're like, "Well, where's that dog?" It's like, okay, so Eddi, this is your first time here with us, so thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. This is great.
Oh, so we've been. I'm going to tell you really quickly about how. Let's say hello to the people in the chat first. I don't want to forget. So, Skeptic early. How's it going, brother? He's our Canadian friend here. I don't know what the temperature is over there. It was minus like 7 or 8 this morning, and then now it's about -1. And Phantom, who's a Legion expert, he's our fact checker. If we say anything wrong, he'll correct us. So we appreciate Phantom Outsider in the
Google
chat there. So I'm gonna quickly just give a little bit of a backstory, and I'll explain about the Legion, my relationship, and then Sean can go, and then Clobberin can go, and then Eddi will save you for the end because I know you actually have like a meaningful story to tell.
I just want to interrupt first.
Yeah, for sure.
I just want to tell you it's 28 degrees Celsius here today.
Okay, wow.
That is
just telling you.
Wow.
Like 83, 84. Yeah.
I got 2 shirts, so I got an undershirt on. I wear a sweater at home in the house.
Now, in the summer when it's 50 degrees Celsius here, we don't brag.
Right. Okay. Well, Sean and I are kind of on the same. We're the same. We're the same. We're not too far from
weather. Yeah.
English weather.
We're in Fahrenheit here, down here.
Yeah.
Oh
my gosh.
It always confuses us.
I can't.
It's 77 degrees down here, but it's always hot.
So, all right.
23.
The tropics.
Right, so 23
over there. We're
sorry. What is it in Fahrenheit then, Sean? Sorry, what did you say?
Fahrenheit was you said 28, right? So it's -2 Celsius.
Okay, all right.
So it's about what it is here, right now.
No. Oh, really?
No. I'm 28. I'm
Celsius.
Celsius.
Yeah,
Celsius. Oh shoot. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he converted for us.
So what is that in Fahrenheit then? Since I don't know Celsius.
83.
70.
Oh, okay. Wow, is it that much? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I live in a desert, so.
Oh, I got you.
Palm Springs is a desert.
Yeah.
And I live in the swampy tropics.
My buddy Mark from Legion Comics. So I am going to be biting your style when I start my memberships. I'm going to call it Legionnaire. Sorry, dude. I've been doing. I didn't. I know you're not supposed to cross the streams like in Ghostbusters, but we're crossing the names a little bit.
That's all right.
But what can you? And yeah, I'm waiting for my Godzilla tickets. I just watched some. I just watched the first 2 episodes of Monarch, so I like.
Yeah,
Monarch.
I've heard of that.
I watched the first one. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. And Kurt Russell's son, having Wyatt Russell play the young Kurt Russell is bloody genius.
Yeah.
And the second, anytime Kurt Russell's on anything, it's automatically the best. And Truth, what's going on, dude?
Wow.
How's it going? Yeah,
I heard Godzilla didn't want him there because he was going to get upstage. Godzilla protested, said, I mean,
if he fights
Kurt Russell.
If they do Godzilla versus Kurt Russell, I might have to go with Kurt Russell. He's like the greatest person ever. Like I can't. Okay. So the website Bearded Shirts and my Legion story kind of all mix in together because I had discovered Clobby's channel obviously through Star Trek, Doctor Who, that kind of stuff that we like. We both really liked a lot of the same things. We both love Highlander too. Okay. We're not going that far. I love
You're
Highlander.
the only one.
I'm the only one, yes. I am the only one, just like in
You're the only one to love that. Good.
Yes. Well, Sean loves it too, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
Sean's lying to you, man.
No, he's not. He's trying to save face on the stream. It's terrible. He told me his true feelings after the.
But at least he hasn't seen the theatrical cut, so
he's
technically he's never
probably
seen
seen
the. Yeah. Have you, Sean?
I have, yeah.
Oh God, no, Sean.
No.
I grew up with. I like it. I don't know.
Oh, beautiful. I love it. All right. So I was watching your channel, then, whatever. We like the same kinds of stuff. So you were always talking about Legion. You have your clubhouse on your Thursday nights and all that.
Mhm.
I'm assuming it's named after the Legion.
Could be.
So I asked Clobby, where do I start? And I started with, he's like, well, you can start different places. So I started with 197 Superboy, since I already like Superboy. So that was my gateway into it. And then I started reading from there. I was like, and I read 197, 188, 199, 200, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 213, 214. And I was like, wow, these are really amazing. And I thought, why don't we just go from the beginning? And then in between reading that, Clobby was saying that he keeps ordering all of these Legion shirts from beardedshirts.com. And I'm a big time superhero shirt guy. I literally don't have any normal shirts. When I was telling my story earlier, like I wore this to the office. Literally I don't have anything normal. I have one normal suit for weddings if I attend, and one normal suit for funerals. That is all I have. That's it. And if someone's paying attention, every wedding I go to, like, did you wear that the last one? It's just because I don't have the one.
I can one up you. I only have one suit for both.
Nice.
My mom wouldn't allow it. That's the only reason she wouldn't allow it.
Just went with dark blue.
And then you're good no matter what. So I was like, well, I got to order some shirts. So what happened there was I actually had ordered some shirts, and I will tell the story because I did a video on it. I ordered some shirts, and something got messed up in the shipping. And now I did not know that. I just got it, and there was like a shipping thing, and it came back, and I ended up thinking like, ooh, I paid a lot for these shirts. And I didn't say anything because like the shirts are so cool and whatever. And then I actually got a survey, which I'm assuming, Eddie, you guys just send out. It just goes out to anyone purchasing. And I thought, I love these shirts. I said, you know what? I'm going to be really honest on this. And I said, the quality is fantastic. I said, the shipping kind of killed me. And then Eddie emails me and he's like, oh, whoa, something happened. You paid like double or triple. I don't know what it was. It was something else.
Way too much. Yeah.
Way too much.
Yeah.
Because now when I go to order, I'm like, hey, this is like literally like 1/3 of what I paid or something. And I thought, well, that's messed up. And you gave me a credit and you're like, sorry. And, go back. And I thought, well, I've never seen that happen in my life ever. So I thought, well, that's really great customer service. So I thought, let me do a video. I got a channel. We talk about superhero stuff. We're talking about Legion. I said, let me throw that out there. And that's kind of where it started from. And then we decided to go back. And then obviously I've been ordering ever since. And then we started to go back in the streams and say, let's start with Legion 240 or Adventure 247 and just keep going. And then as we've been doing that, you kept adding more and more shirts as well. So it was like growing at the same time. Like we're doing our streams, then you're adding more and more. And now, I don't know, there's so many. This print all over stuff came out, and we're like, well, this is outrageous. Like every shirt's the best. So I'm like, and then Clobby's like, he's like, I'm gonna have to order more. And then I'm like, all right, well, let me see what they got. And then I'm like, did you see this one? And like we're talking the stream. You think the stream ends and we all say goodbye. The stream ends. We spend half an hour on the site. Going through all the shirts. I was like, shit, did you see this got added? And Clobby's like, oh my, no, I didn't see that one.
I should put you guys on a live stream of just the reaction video of
going through the thing. Yeah.
Dude, and he's private messaging me. He's like, whoa, he goes, did you see this one? Sending me screenshots. Like, holy shit. The thing that got me though was the Secret Wars, because I've got that the first black suit appearance, like you can't see it, it's in the case there. And I was like, oh, that's a killer shirt. Hey, sorry, we missed Could Not Be Reached. Hey, Could Not Be Reached. How's it going?
Hey, buddy. What's up, man?
Thank you for popping in, buddy. We appreciate it. Anyway, so my Legion story is that I started reading. So I'm like the Legion not virgin, but Legion least. I'm like the Legion, child. I'm like the least experienced in the. Whatever you've seen me chat about on streams is what I've read. I did read those Superboys a little bit into. So I saw. I guess I don't know when the costumes like changed. I go by Cosmic Boy because I could very easily tell his costume is like the completely different. Like he's like the showing more skin Legion costume. Which I actually really like. I know some people are like, what's going on with this costume? But I actually really like that costume. I don't know why. But I just think he looks cool. And if I had his muscles, I'd be wearing that too. So I don't care. But so that's what I've read. So I really don't know too much about, and I don't know Great Darkness Saga and all these big things that people always chat about. I don't really know any of it. So I'm discovering this with all of you guys and just moving forward that way. And then in doing that, I've been becoming a fan. And obviously I started with Superboy. So when I first even ordered, the first things I ordered right away was the Superboy shirt, the one with him and Lana, Superboy glass. Like it was obviously, okay, this is the Superboy guy. And that's one of my bigger collections of comics. I've been collecting the Superboys. And then it's easy to obviously gateway into Legion from that. And I also love Supergirl, Superman, Supergirl, Superboy, whatever. Those super people are my favorite characters of all time. So it's really easy to jump off. And now I think Polar Boy and the Legion of Subs, at least from what we've seen so far, have been really amazing for me. They're kind of like my favorite. Every time I see them, I'm like, yeah, look at the substance.
You're not far enough. Wait till Giffen ruins them.
Exactly.
Oh, see, yeah, like, and you can spoiler anything. It doesn't. Spoilers used to be what got me to watch it. I'd be like, I'm not watching this movie. And then someone would be like, oh yeah, here's all the stuff that happens. I'm like, oh, I gotta see this movie now. And I'm like I'm like different time. Yeah, we came back. What the hell did we watch? I don't know. Whatever it was, like, let's say like Planet of the Apes or something. I came back and it's like, oh my God, they're friggin' on Earth. It wasn't even, they're on Earth the whole time. You're like, what? Oh, I gotta go see this movie. And it's like the entire movie is like completely ruined and spoiled. And then they find this doll and it speaks, oh shit. Oh, and it's like the whole movie's ruined. And that would be the incentive to go see the movie afterwards. Then you'd go see it again with your buddy who didn't see it or whatever.
That's what happened with Blake 7, dude. I saw the last episode and before I went back and became the biggest fanatic of Blake 7 ever.
Yep.
Other than watching the first one, I didn't watch any. Then I watched that last one, so now I got to go see it all. Man.
And I started with Deep Space Nine season 7, and I'm like,
ooh,
this was
that's
awesome.
Terrible. Yeah.
I know, but well, I'm not your friend anymore. But I'm not your friend
that's
anymore.
Okay.
That's it. We're done.
All
no,
right.
but I love Ezri. I love Ezri. And then when I saw that, I was like, oh, I can't wait for Ezri to come in. I'm like, I know because Jadzia. I'm like, it's Jadzia. I'm like, when's Ezri coming
Only one
on?
season.
And she's like, the last season's like, damn it. I like Jadzia. She's good. She's pretty, obviously, but I liked Ezri. She's Canadian and she was in Cube. And I love that movie, Cube. All right, so that's it for me. Sean, I'll let you go next. So what's your kind of like relationship to Legion? Like, you and I, so Sean and I have been friends for 22
years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And not even my oldest friend. My oldest friend is from junior kindergarten. We play Dungeons and Dragons twice a month. Still from junior kindergarten till now. Never. His name. Mine Jason. His name is Jason. the two J's.
Basically, Eddie, these are a couple of youngsters. There's no other way to put it.
That would be J-Men then.
Yeah.
The J-Men. Yes.
J-Men forever.
That is the J-Men for. Oh man. Yes.
My favorite movies, by the way.
I love that. Oh, you see J-Man Forever? Oh God, it's great. Love it. Firesign Theater. Yes, you got to see it, dude. You'd love it.
I do. I'm sure I can find it on
Remember Night Flight? If you had Night Flight, you should show it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so Sean, we never talked about Legion. We talked about every other thing ever imaginable, like Santo movies, like Italian horror movies, like kaiju. Like I'm like the massive Godzilla guy. Like everything we never got to the Legion with, like He-Man, Transformers, G.I. Joe, like even like weird, like we're just talking about like the Shaw Brothers stuff. The other, like we talked about all this stuff. Legion never came up, so I don't even know myself. Like, how did you even get into Legion?
Well, so
AFK, how's it going?
Most of my introduction to Legion is this stream. I was always sort of like on off with the Legion. I always felt it was daunting. Like there's so much to go through. I'm like, and anyone who was really into the Legion was really, really into the Legion. And I thought, wow, it's probably really cool. But I never really. I mean, I was too busy buying Spider-Man and like, the requisite like Superman titles where they had like a title every week, and Batman and all that stuff, right? My first Legion, when I was a kid, I was in and out of the hospital a lot. So one time I had surgery, and my dad bought a whole stack of comics, and one of them was Tales of the Legion of Superheroes 334. I remember. That's in the mid '80s or so. I think it's like Element Lad and some other. Pardon?
I said you made me feel really old right there.
Yeah, sorry, man.
We're both. These guys are young, man. I'm telling you.
What's the number there, Sean?
It's 334. I think it's Element Lad and
Yeah.
I can't remember who kissing on the cover.
Yeah, it was reprints by then. Yeah.
Yeah, and as a kid, I was like, I was like 8.
Is
and
that
I
it?
didn't really. That's
There you
it.
go.
I
That was
didn't
the
really
worst-
read it.
That was the worst cover ever.
Ever. Yeah, I know. So I saw that and I'm like, I don't like. There's nothing to do here. There's no video games and stuff. So I was like, oh, let me just look through this. And I liked all the designs. I liked all the characters. They were really cool. There wasn't a lot of action in this thing. It's a lot of lover spats. I remember. And I was like, oh. So, I mean, I read it just a few months ago. I was like, let me revisit it. I still have this. It's all dog-eared and crappy.
Right.
And I was like, that's pretty cool. I don't know. It's not. I mean, it's not what I want from like something called the Legion of Superheroes. I want them to fight guys and like all sorts of cool stuff. It's a lot of lover spats. I think a few years after that, I picked up Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes. I had to write it down. 246, which was a lot better. It was like they had the spaceship and everything.
That's around Earth War, I believe.
It's like 1976 or 77.
Yeah, Earth War, somewhere at that point, I think.
Yeah, it's a back issue. I just found it like for 50 cents in a back bin. And J-Man, you said you went to that place. There's like a bookstore with like a bunch of bins in the back.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And so I picked that up and I admired the Legion, but I never really got into it. I just was always intimidated by it. But I like all the characters, and I never thought like naming guys Lad and Lass and Boy and all that was goofy. I thought it was awesome. It's like and I thought like that's the Legion thing. Like,
Right.
when I was a kid and I used to read Wizard magazine, I know it's terrible.
That's awful.
But when
Everybody
I was
knows that.
So they used to make up guys and stuff, and I was like, that's cool, and I thought Bouncing Boy looked neat. I always wanted to get into it. So I had a working knowledge. The problem is that like I know too much of what happens later, not like super details, but like, for example, in that 334, I think Invisible Kid is like French and black. So I don't know what happens between the time you're reading now and then. So yeah, I don't know what's happening.
Is it a different character, or did they pull a? Oh, there's two. Okay.
He's got like a white streak on his afro.
I like Jock was pretty cool. I like Jock.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And I know that there's a whole origin of the Legion itself that we haven't seen in these early issues where they're just feeling it out and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know there's a lot more to go through. From what I've read, like I have the omnibuses of the Who's Who, and the volume 2 has the Who's Who Legion of Superheroes. And I think it's like 9 issues or something. And I got one of the one of the shirts is like issue 2 from Bearded Shirts.
Oh, one of the nice.
With Darkseid and everything. But that has a whole history, and I was like, oh shoot, I'm reading way too much. Let me stop, so I can enjoy them in this stream.
Right.
But yeah, Legion of Superman is awesome. I don't know where they are in continuity right now. I thought it was a cool idea for Superboy to learn kind of how to be Superman through the Legion and everything, and be intrinsically linked that way. But I mean, it's one of the many things that were sort of like jettisoned when Byrne struck. I don't want to get Clobby too angry about that, but
and I like the John Byrne stuff, so we've already beaten that.
Let's not have that argument.
That horse to death and resurrected it.
It's a fun piece of history of Superman. It's that they sort of just like lifted and took away, and it's a great little franchise. That they can I mean, I don't know what the hell they're doing with that new movie. Once again, I don't want to trigger anybody, but
dear.
but yeah, no, it's cool, and I look forward to reading the rest of it through this stream.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna switch up around here. Put us on the bottom.
Yep.
All right, so Clubby, well, you're gonna have. So, were you there from the beginning with Legion, or what's your kind of story or relationship with them?
In 1958, before I was born, I loved them so much. Even
even
I'm
you know what I mean.
From the beginning,
you went back and got.
But yes, no. I think it's very difficult to me to pinpoint an exact time. It's just because I loved Superman so much. But I'm one of those weirdos that loves both Marvel and DC characters equally. You know, because as I've always told you, my gateway drug to geek comics and stuff was Batman TV shows, Superman cartoon, Spider-Man cartoon, Marvel superheroes cartoon, FF cartoon, and so forth, and so on, Super Friends, and so on. So I just loved them all. I didn't really know I didn't know what a Marvel or a DC was when I was a kid, but I started seeing the Superboy title out there, and I think one of my first ones was not too far before somewhere early in the Grell run. It was right after issue 200 or something like that. I picked up one. I can't remember what it was, but it was Superboy, so I'm sold. Right? I had, it was great art. Even with Vince Coletta, couldn't completely ruin Grell all the time. And I said, hey, "Who are all these guys? He said in the future with other superheroes. Oh, that's just too cool." And I don't remember specifically other than just picking it up because it had Superboy on it, and then falling in love with the Legion and just never stopped buying it whenever I could get my hands on it. When I got at the 7-Eleven or what have you, it became one of my priority comics. As you know, you got so many coins when you're riding your bike to the corner, and you're getting you want to get as many comics as you can at that 20 and 25% cover price, and have enough for a Slurpee or win the superhero cup and then what have you, and a Hostess fruit pie or whatever. And so obviously, if there's an FF on the stands, I had to have it. If there's a Fantastic Four, I love them as much as I love the Legion. If there's a Superman title, a Batman title, a Spidey book, there were priority ones. And of course, if it's Superboy, it wasn't getting left behind. So I just fell in love with the Legion that way and stayed with them all the way until like I say, through thick and thin, through some really crappy artists. There's a lot of really good ones to some not so good writers, Jerry Conway, and others. But Paul Levitz, of course, really brought it back to prominence for me. I loved him on the book and stayed with it until 1989 when they decided to do 5 years later after that. And all that, Tom and Mary Bierbaum and Giffen, and actually read that for about a year or two and decided that that's not my Legion, and almost never looked back except in the Lightning Saga and a couple of times when Paul Levitz had his kind of take on what an adult, Legion would be a few years after that. But everything else, it starts and stops with Silver and Bronze, and I just don't like anything done after that for the most part, with those aforementioned exceptions. So it's not a big, great story, just that I love the Legion, long live the Legion, and I'm just thrilled to death. Not only to get all these cool shirts thanks to Eddi, but to have, other friends get into it the way we do these reviews every week. It's just so much fun. And going back to the beginning, since it's been so long since I've read those, so I have every story reprinted in some form or another from 58 to 89, or have all the Baxter run and all that, of course, too. And I have a lot of regular issues, a lot of reprint books and masterworks and stuff, and figures, of course, and now shirts, thanks to Eddi, and cups and all that. But I dearly love it, and I'm so glad more people are getting into the classic stuff.
Awesome. That's great. Before we sorry, Sean, I didn't realize I could have put you front and center when you're talking, but it's like, you'll forgive me, right? I like that view better. I just wanted before we let's just catch up on a couple of the comments and we'll get Eddi to tell us. So yeah, Clobby is our expert on this. So he's sort of the driving force of me wanting to do this. And for me, I need to be not forced. I'll read before we started the stream, I read first couple appearances of Liberty Bell from Boy Commandos, and I was reading some Alan Scott Green Lantern, all American comics, and we're watching some Doctor Who. So I do this all day, but for me to get down and be okay, I gotta I'm like Sean. I always want to get into the Legion. It seemed too overwhelming. I'm like, well, if I'm doing it with other people and I know that I'm going to now for sure buckle down and read it, as opposed to I'm sitting there. I read comics all day, but it's just random. I read Deadpool 7 Slaughters, which just came out this week, and then I moved to Liberty Bell, and then I moved to what GI Joe 301 or what, like, I mean, it's like I'm moving through brand new comics that just came out, super old golden age to like a bronze age, just moving around. Like I need to like focus and be like, okay, let me do Legion. And if I do 3 comics and we do 3 comics a week and we really do a deep dive, I can commit to that and then just go forward. So that's kind of what we've been doing. So all right, let's see, did we miss anything? Any comments? Well, what did Fanny say here? Thought it was odd Superboy had some friends who were as powerful as some of him. I guess. I mean, did you think it's like, oh, why does Superboy have all these other, like when he was going in the future and all that? Did you think that was weird, Clobby, or
what? Did he had all these friends with superpowers and stuff? No, I just loved it. In fact, I love the fact that it was like it was almost like the Star Trek of DC, because it was like in the far future, and it's more dangerous. Yeah. With all that technology, it's tougher for a guy with superpowers than in the 20th century. Right. So I felt that to be more challenging. And again, they just had such cool characters. My favorite Legionnaire out and not called Superboy or Mon-El is Wildfire for that reason. What a great concept he is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it cannot be reached as 300th anniversary issue. So we'll I guess we'll get to it.
Yeah.
Down the line.
And by the way, thank you, Eddie. That's one of the shirts. That you sent them. Yep. Love it.
All right. So we're Eddie, you're in the hot seat here. So you want to tell us your story with Legion, how you got into it, and also just why even do shirts, or like, why do shirts, website, all that stuff.
It all goes together. It all goes together. My story is a little bit more dramatic than all of yours. I grew up in a very abusive household, and it got to the point where it's even hard to talk about today at 58 years old. What went on before I was 10 years old. It was very physically abusive, mentally abusive, emotionally abusive. If you've ever read the book A Child Called It, you'll know kind of what I went through. If you have never read it, don't. It'll fuck you up. Don't read it. It's a bad thing. It was so bad that I think I was in 6th grade, about January, February. It was, being stuck in the house. I was in Iowa, very cold winters. So you're stuck in the house and with an abusive father. That was tough. And I remember at some point I just decided that this had to end. But I wasn't going to just take myself out. At 12 years old, I was going to off my father, because the world just did not need that man. And then I was going to kill myself and be done with it.
Oh my God.
I had the gun, had the bullets, had everything ready. Sorry.
Wow.
It's emotional. But I remember I was waiting to do it. I had to wait till Mom was going to be gone. And I remember I skateboarded. It was one of the first days of spring, probably March maybe. I skateboarded up to Hardig's drug store, and they had a rack of comic books. And I was going through the comic books and found this Legion of Superheroes, and I just had to have it. 30 cents on the cover. I reached in my pocket. I had 30 cents in my pocket, a quarter and a nickel. And I'm like, yes. So I get up in line. There's probably 7 people in line. Get up to the front desk. This bitty old lady says it's 32 cents with the tax. And I'm like,
my God.
I'm like, I only have 30 cents. And she's like, then you can't have it. And you remember the little dish, the take a penny, leave a penny?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
What about that? And she goes, that's not for you.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
I remember I almost did her voice perfectly right there too.
Wow.
And there was a guy, 2 or 3 people behind me, that said, I'll pay his tax. And she's like, then bring it up here. So he pulled it on the table. And I said, hey, thanks so much for that, Mr. Thanks for that. And I grabbed the comic and I went outside, and I waited outside for the guy, because I had a lot of just gratitude for him. And I got the comic, first comic I ever bought is this comic.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And I open it up and I start reading it. And I remember he came out and I thanked him and he goes, "Hey kid, it's 2 cents. Not a big deal." He didn't know that 2 cents was going to save my life.
Wow.
So later on, I'm reading the comic book. I could barely even read. My nickname growing up was retard. I know you're not supposed to say the R word, but that was my nickname from my dad. And I'm reading the comic and it talks about how heroes don't take other people's lives. And I was like, well, I want to be a hero. Like, so I have no plans for my future now. This comic book just ruined the plans I had to off my dad and take my life. And so I started like working everything I could to make pennies so that I could go up and get the next issue of Legion of Superheroes. Because here's these teenagers going through all this stuff, and I'm a teenager, and I'm going, oh hell yeah, I gotta know what's going on with these people. I got a job at a restaurant vacuuming the carpets at 3:30 in the afternoon when they closed, and I got $1. I would run down to Comic World and buy 3 comic books with it. And I remember Al at Comic World would forego the tax with me sometimes just so I could get another one, you know, and I would scrape every penny I could. I just bought every Legion of Superheroes comic that I could buy. I remember I bought one that had somebody drew on the cover, and I was like, I don't care. I'm buying it, you know. And I fell in love with these teenagers who I grew up with. So here I'm going through, by the time I was 16, right before I was 17, I got thrown out of the house and I was homeless. And by the time I was 18, I had 12,000 comic books in my collection because I just threw everything I had into those comics. I didn't even want to get an apartment because I wanted to spend my money on comic books. I also became the assistant manager of the comic book store at 16 years old. So I did not make a penny at that place. I took it all in comic books.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Comic books became my thing. I just wanted to be a hero. That's what I wanted to do. So, you know, I had all these comic books. He had an apartment above the comic place, and he says, you can rent it when you're 18. I said, well, okay. He didn't know I was homeless and I lived 4 doors down in this condemned building at the end of the block. He had no idea I was sleeping in the basement of this thing. Wow. And when I turned 18, I said, hey, your apartment's, you know, for rent, can I buy it? It was $110 a month. I remember that. And he's like, I didn't know you were looking for one. I'm like, I've been living at the end of the block for almost over a year now. And he's like, why didn't you tell me? I would have gave you a place then. And I was like, you told me I can't until I'm 18.
Okay, yeah.
So like one of those things. But it was a hard life, but it turned out that at 17, I got a blood test during biology class and found out that my father wasn't my father. And that that's why he treated me so different than the other kids and beat me up, is because my mother had an affair on him. And
oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
So he was an asshole, and I kind of overall that, but he died in my late 20s. But I went on to say, you know, my life is about helping others now. So the building at the end of the block that I was living in, a condemned building, I went out and I raised my funds and bought it and turned it into a homeless shelter by the time I was 19.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wow, that's wonderful.
That was kind of my thing. It was like, I want to be a hero.
You are a hero.
Yeah,
you are, sir.
But I can help people. So that's what I did. I became a minister by the time I was 19, married by the time I was 20, 8 children by the time I was 30.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I went into a whole thing about we foster cared over 75 children.
Wow.
It was a life of being a hero, you know. And in 1983, DC Comics decided these teenagers from 1958 need to be adults, right? So they kind of changed them over to become adults in 1983. That's the year I became an adult. So I literally grew up with the Legion of Superheroes, and they weren't just my friends. They saved my life. They set the course for the rest of my life. by reading these comic books. And if you ask me what my favorite Legion of superhero is, I can't tell you. I don't have
Right.
one. Like, they're all so much my brothers and sisters that I can't tell you. Oh yeah, this one I like the most. I like some of the costumes. I love Element Lad's Arrow costume.
Mhm.
Ultra Boy, who didn't want an Ultra Boy shirt, which there was no such thing as Ultra Boy.
Yep.
You could hardly find a Superman shirt back when I was a kid,
Right.
let alone a Ultra Boy. So I think I was 23. I started screen printing T-shirts for a living. I got 16 cents a shirt that I would screen print, and I would screen print my fingers off. And I loved the business, but that's what got me into the business. And I always wanted an Ultra Boy shirt. And I worked there for about 4 years, and I never made one because you have to go through a whole process of screen printing. It wasn't cheap to make a screen. So I never made one. And so then I grew up going, I want an Ultra Boy shirt. Nowhere sold an Ultra Boy shirt. So, I won't get too much into this part of the story, but I found out I was gay after I was married, raised my kids, kept it to myself and raised my kids. My kids got 18. I was like, okay, it's time for me to be me. I came out, moved to Fort Lauderdale, and I said, I need to do something. I'm going to start a T-shirt company. So I started doodling on napkins and putting them on T-shirts. And then I went, wait a minute, I can make myself an Ultra Boy shirt.
Wow.
There's this new technology called digital printing that prints directly on the shirt, and you can print one shirt. It was an expensive technology back then. This was 13 years ago. And I was like, I'm making myself an Ultra Boy shirt. And I would go out and wear this Ultra Boy shirt at the bars and stuff, and they'd say, what is that? And I'm like, it's Ultra Boy. And they're like, Ultra Boy? No. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun that way. But so I started making shirts, and I was like, my driving force of making T-shirts is so I can have an Ultra Boy shirt. So Legion of Superheroes not only took me through life and put me on a trajectory that I needed to be in and to help other people, it also put me right into business to do the thing that I wanted to do, is make the shirt I've always wanted. So that's kind of the theme of Bearded Shirts, is I want to make the shirts that everyone has dreamed for. Like that one shirt that you're like, I wish I had that on a shirt. I want to do that for you. That's my driving thing, is people go, oh, can you do Phantom Stranger? I had actually a comment on one of my Facebook posts. Sure, you did the challenge, or I can't remember which one. Oh, you did the Freedom Fighters and you did the Infinity. Can you do the Challengers? And here's the Challenger. Like, hour I had the Challenger out.
That's beautiful, dude. I love that one.
Yeah, that is. Yeah,
both of them.
So that's my driving force. I've always wanted. I didn't know I could draw. I came out, went down to Fort Lauderdale, sat on the beach, and just doodled on napkins and started. If you saw my first shirt, which was a bear with wings, it was actually beards on shirts. That's where the Bearded Shirts came from.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I drew just an outline of a beard and put it on a shirt, and people wanted it, and I was like, I'll sell you that.
Right.
You're going to pay $25 for that? Sure. And then I started just drawing, and, I've drawn quite a few of these characters.
So I didn't even realize, that's your art, these ones?
Yeah, these are all
my God.
Oh, wow.
I did not know that.
Amazing.
Like, at all. I that's crazy.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh my God, that's awesome. So it's like, it's your own art.
Yeah, so I basically just taught myself how to draw. I am autistic. I am on the spectrum, so it's anything I kind of pick up, anything electronic I can just get into. So
figure it out.
Yeah, so I've never had someone teach me art or even computers or Facebook or Photoshop or anything like that. Right. I just pick it up and run with it. And now with AI, it's a whole new story, But yeah, that's my story. It's kind of
Wow. I mean,
of Legion of Superheroes, but also the story of Bearded Shirts. It all goes hand in hand.
wow, that's
Absolutely.
incredible. And you are a hero for doing all that stuff.
Yes, sir,
and,
you
like,
are.
Oh my
You are.
God. I mean, that's crazy.
I don't see, like, people are like, oh, it's really good that you made that choice. And I'm like, I really don't think I had a choice. Like, it was life or death. That's not really a choice. Life is always the way to go. I mean, death is just not there. So it was never a choice for me. I just did what needed to be done. And I kind of, my own religion was, if you see a problem, you're part of the solution, or you should be, I don't believe that so much anymore, because I want to relax a little bit now in my older age.
Well, you've done a lot. I mean, even starting up the shelter and all that is crazy, and taking in the the children and stuff too. I mean, that's crazy. Like, a lot of people talk. This is one of my things. There's a lot of talking, you see on Twitter, and I don't want to get into that angle, but this and that. It's like, well, why don't you, if you feel this strongly, do something, as opposed to just posting something on a web post or putting a thumbs up. It's like, do something then, and try to fix a problem if you're very passionate about it. And you did that, so that is very special. And whatever led you to that is something, So that's great.
That's definitely my religion. Is if you're going to talk about it, do something. If you have the power to make a change, and make the change. What are we waiting for? Somebody else to do it? I mean, what if Superman waited for somebody else to save somebody?
Right.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah. Well, that's that. Oh my God,
that story has touched me. I mean, Eddie, I don't know what to say. I'm almost speechless about it, but it's beautiful, and it's horrible, obviously, what you were talking about. And yet, what's beautiful about it is how you overcame it. And these things that we love with our imaginations, they stimulate our imaginations. These fictional heroes, when people try to marginalize it, or say it's just comic books, or it's just Star Trek, or whatever it is, these things speak to people. It's because your imagination is part of you.
Right.
And when you're a kid, you're definitely you're definitely easily influenced, and it's what you put in there. And that's why I love heroic fiction. Is my favorite kind. I want, like you, I want to be a hero. I'm not one, but I want to be one. When I read about these characters, I want to I want to be like Ben Grimm is my favorite hero, for example, because he turned into a monster and yet didn't become one on the inside. And he walked that tightrope in those early issues of the Fantastic Four. And usually in these kinds of fiction, when a character is turned into a monster or something physically, they become one on the inside. And he didn't do that. That's why I love that character. The characters I love the most are the Ben Grimms, the Superboy. Hell, Drake Burroughs, look what all he went through. He turned into pure energy and stayed a hero. He was an a-hole. He was tough to deal with, but he was still devoted to being a good Legionnaire and a hero and stuff. And just I love this kind of stuff.
My favorite Wildfire story is, I think it's annual number 3, where they jump ahead in the future, and he's the only Legionnaire left because he's immortal. He can't die.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And he comes back with a lesson that he learned from the earlier. I was like, oh, dang, that is such a good story. Art wasn't the greatest, but the story was fantastic.
Oh my God, I haven't read that in decades.
Yeah, I think people like undervalue comic books too. I don't know who my father is. I think I know his first name. Like, that's it. Like, we grew up, there were 6 of us in a 3-bedroom apartment with my 2 grandparents, and my mom and her sister, so my aunt. They were working. My mom would just work all the time. And my cousin and I shared a room, and she's basically my sister now, but she's my cousin technically. We shared a room. So my grandfather was around, so he was the only male role model I had. My grandmother literally just cooked, cleaned, that's it. Like, she had grade 5 education. That's all she did. And then, so I read just whatever comics I could get, watched the cartoon superhero Batman. And I didn't think, oh, Batman's a joke or whatever. I took the lessons, the Adam West, the lessons and all that to heart. He-Man, He-Man cartoons was kind of my favorite cartoon. There was the lessons at the end. Like, we didn't think, oh, this is like some stupid cartoon. Even now, going back and looking back at these old comics or old He-Man cartoons, Sean and I do Transformer talk. I'm not looking at it like, oh, this is like some cheesy thing now, or it hasn't aged, or whatever. Like, the modern way that they, what do you always say, Sean? You always say they distance themselves nowadays. It's like,
ironic distancing, it's cynicism.
Right. I never
it's probably
thought that.
because they don't believe in it, I guess, and they don't.
I
know
did
how to
believe
engage
in it.
You know,
You know, there's one comic, I don't remember which one it was now. It was a Mr. Terrific story. I just remembered it because I've got your website on another tab, and Mr. Terrific just popped up. And I think it might have been in Starman, in the Starman.
Starman, you told me about this, yeah.
Yes, and then he says, he's like, oh, that you know, so the fair play. Do you believe this, or is that just, you know, to have on your costume? And he's like, oh no, I believe it with all my heart. And he says, well, you might be the best hero of all of us. And that was awesome. And also, yeah, the only way for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. That was from one of the JSA. Again, I don't remember I actually have the issue because I read it in a physical comic, so I don't remember which one it's from. But yeah, like I believe that, like I believe in that stuff, and we have proof here that it does affect people, it does change their lives, it does shape who they are, and it's important. It's not something to scoff at and just be like, oh, that's some stupid comic or whatever. It's like, well, sure, it could be. Now, it could be anything. Other people might have a sports figure that they look up to. It could be, you know, something on TV, maybe a celebrity, or it could be someone in their family too. Maybe you have. But if you don't have anyone in your immediate family, your parents or whatever, it's like, then you look to other sources and hopefully you can find something that will, you know, help you in your life. Oh, I didn't even see, sorry, Captain James T. Skywalker.
Hey,
how's
buddy.
it going? Hey, thank you for joining us.
Hope you're feeling well today, buddy. You're doing better, man. Good to see you.
So I'm sorry, guys. I did not see when Eddie was talking, I wasn't even looking. I don't know if did we miss anybody. I'm sorry if we missed any of you guys who popped in. I didn't say hi. I'm just scrolling back as much as I can go back.
I think you got everybody, brother.
I got everybody. Well, that was a very powerful story, but I think you turned such a negative into such an amazing, like way more positive. Like, I mean, this is incredible. And you had told me now, I mean, you didn't tell me, you said you're going to tell your story and it's going to be tough, but I actually really didn't even think it was going to be as crazy as it was. Like, you start to think like, okay, well, how bad could it be? And I'm like, oh, this is a lot worse than I thought it was going to be. Like, I didn't say anything to the guys. I didn't say anything to Clobberin and Sean because I was like, well, let's, I don't want to like. And then I'm thinking, how bad could this be? Like, oh, this was like a lot worse than I thought it was. Than I thought it was going to be. So, congratulations, man, that you were able to get through that. Like, I don't even know. I can't even comprehend like how we still had a family. Like, all in all, with the troubles that we had with the financial and the living situation, I still had, like, my grandparents would die for me, and like my mom would do anything. Like, I still had that support. So it's amazing that you're able to even find some sort of support through comics, which is amazing, and for Legion too. Do you remember what? I guess you remember what was the number of that Legion comic?
Is it 228? Let me just look real quick.
That'd be Mike Grell. The Grail era, probably.
226.
226.
It was the Dawn Star on the
Dawn
cover.
Star.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's Dawn Star. I loved anything with wings because that was my whole thing with Superman. I didn't care that he had all these superpowers. He could fly.
Yeah.
Without, and so then when anything with wings, I was so mad when I found out Hawkman's wings came off.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I was like, no, you can't take them off.
Yeah, I thought they're just in his back.
I didn't know either.
They're worthless. Why are you wearing them?
Oh my God, you're the first person. I've never admitted this to anyone ever. My entire life, I thought those were his wings. I got one issue. This is embarrassingly bad because I got issues like Hawkworld or something, not like an old issue. Like, I'm like, well, you could take these off. I'm like, wait, what the hell is this? I didn't realize the wings were part of the armor. I just thought he had cool weapons and armor to go on top of his wings because he had wings. I was completely.
That's why I started picking up the X-Men because of Angel.
Yeah.
I want the wings. Yeah,
I want the wings. And I never said to anybody that's like, I never knew. Like Sean didn't know this. Nobody. I've never said that. Never admitted this to anybody.
Okay.
And I was like,
so I'm gonna give you one of mine. By admitting it out to the public. Right. I grew up with the Legion of Superheroes, and I did not know that Cosmic Boys wore a corset. I thought the pink skin was part of his costume until later on. I'm like, he was mostly naked and just had a corset, and I'm like, what? And
the coloring on those old newsprint,
How did I not see that? Especially as a gay man, how did I not see that? What?
Sometimes
he was basically naked.
Oh yeah, it's like a bustier or something. Sort
Yeah,
of.
just kind of that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I made a little character of it. He's on my.
I think Grell called it his Chippendales outfit.
Yeah, it really looked just like it was painted on him. So I was like, yeah.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
I make these little. I make these little guys.
It was actually the Legion of Superheroes group on Facebook. Somebody said, I just loved it that they showed so much skin, and I'm like, what are they talking about? And then I went back and looked. I'm like, oh my god! How did I not see that this whole time?
Yeah, how does that even like work or whatever? Like, is it
stay on? Yeah,
31st century.
Yeah.
I actually love that. I don't know why. I just thought, like, you know what, this guy's pretty badass. Like, he's like, I don't care, I can wear whatever I want, and that's how it's going to be. And I just thought this guy's so cool. The first guy I made was Cosmic Boy in this costume. Was the first.
Well, back then nobody really made fun of it. It had to be later. People look back and go, "Wow, how 70s." I guess.
Yeah. Oh, Voltan. Oh, with the wing. Oh, we're talking about the wings. Yeah. Anybody?
Oh, Voltan. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, Brian Blessed as Voltan in that movie is just the damn greatest character.
And how can you make fun of? Go ahead.
That's why I don't like the current version of Dawn Star, because her wings are energy and they shut off. And I'm like, nope.
No.
You ruined it. I'm fine with whatever else you did, Bendis, but you can't do that to Dawn Star. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know the Bendis. Okay. So I know that started, and Bendis doesn't do things well sometimes. He's not. Well, I like some of the X-Men things.
It's the most diplomatic way of putting it, but sure.
Right. Yeah, we're very diplomatic today. No.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
We don't want to get. I just got monetized. So let's. Can I be monetized for 24 hours?
I think you can insult Michael Bendis and stay monetized. I checked the rule. I checked the YouTube. It's fine.
I think that's fine. Yeah.
It's not.
I didn't read any of that though. I will say I despised. So I watched that new cartoon, the Legion of Superheroes. And I buy. So Eddie, I don't know if you noticed, I buy everything. I have like over 3,000 things. Even when I hate something, I still buy it. All behind me, and then it just goes on. And then that's room one. And then there's storage. Then there's storage room. There's closet. And then there's thing. And the other thing is I love horror movies. So I'm a super big horror movie guy. So I've got tons of horror movie stuff. You don't see too much. And I also like wrestling. I like the women's division in wrestling. I've got my Linda Carter there. Everyone has to. You have to have Linda Carter in your room, or else you're just not cool. But I've got my women's wrestling stuff there.
Even the gay guys have one.
Yeah, well, yeah, everyone exactly. She's just transcended to all everywhere.
Yeah,
but
I wore my velvet Wonder Woman tank top to the tea dance yesterday, and I have never had so many people touch me in my whole life. I'm wearing this all the time.
So Wonder Woman. So I love that Wonder Woman show, and this is funny too because that show really, again, touched a lot of people because I loved it so much. I remember I went to my grandfather is from, he's passed away, but he was from, communist Croatia, was in the military, escaped from there, whatever. So we're going to the shop to buy some stuff and they had all these cool light switches. So Superman's my favorite character, but I really wanted the Wonder Woman. He's like, are you sure you want Wonder Woman? Don't you want, Batman or something? I was like, no, I want Wonder Woman. And then I used to try to spin around. I was like, it's not working. I couldn't change. I love, and I never thought, you watch it now, and obviously she's, very beautiful and all that. But as a kid, I never thought of it that way. I just thought she was awesome. And I don't like when they do this with these heroes, especially today. We're not going to start this talk. I'm not going to start this argument, but they try to shoehorn it into, this is only for this type of audience, whether it's whatever the thing is. I'm like, yeah but it's a superhero thing. It's for everyone. Wonder Woman's my third favorite character. I've got a whole Wonder Woman shelf. My most comics I own is Wonder Woman. Actually, if we counted them, well, maybe Superman now, but if you count Superboy, but I love Wonder Woman, so I don't like how they do that. And it's and it was all part of my childhood. I watched Wonder Woman, Batman, Lou Ferrigno Hulk, the Spider-Man show, which is I guess that hasn't aged as well, but I still like it.
Good old Nickel.
all those live action ones. I even like Red Brown as Captain America. I'm friends with him on Facebook, so we're a pro Red Brown.
You better be nice to Red Brown.
He's your.
He's your man.
Everyone knows I super love your.
Cool.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I think the coolest thing about the TV shows and the movies, I don't care how bad the movies are. I'm going to go see them.
oh, I see everything. Yeah.
Because I want to see my superheroes in action.
Oh yeah.
And if you take, like, I remember when Spider-Man 3 came out and everybody was just going off about how bad it was. And I thought it was freaking fantastic.
I still liked it. Yeah.
I could sit there and watch the film and go, look at the sand particles of Sandman. Look at what's going
He
on.
did look good. Yeah.
You have to remember, before Spider-Man had the little rope that they would throw out and swing, and now
Love
he has
it.
actual webs, and he's like, I feel like I'm Spider-Man, right? And so watching that film, it was technical. The technology was so good on it.
Yeah.
I was just like, how can you not like this movie? Like, even if he sings and dances in it, like, how can you not like this movie? And and even Blue Beetle,
it's awful.
I didn't like the writing, but I love the scenes where he got to be Blue Beetle. Like, that's why I love it.
Cool. And when he fought, actually, Blue Beetle as a separate topic is frustrating because the actor's great. He looked cool. Like when he's the full costume and then he shoot, I was like, oh, this is awesome. But the story elements and adding a bunch of characters to try to like shoehorn them in, I'm like, but there's one guy in a costume and everyone else is just normal. It's like, why is it Team Blue Beetle with Grandma? Like, if you're gonna have other people, then throw Ted Kord in there,
right?
Or throw Dan Garrett in there. Like, throw some other characters. At least give me some other superhero characters. But whatever, that's a separate talk.
I thought the sad thing about Blue Beetle was that Keith Giffen was the creator of the new Blue Beetle.
Yeah,
he passed away right before the movie hit the theaters, which I'm glad that he didn't get to see it be a flop. But I'm sure he got to see the movie and knew it was a flop anyway. But but that was his brainchild, and it's one of the only things he did that he wrote family into. Like all the rest of his stuff, they had to tone back down. Like, even his Legion stuff, they had to talk him out of killing everybody off.
Yeah, he hated Karate Kid, the bastard. I love Keith Giffen, by the way. I'm just kidding.
I love Keith Giffen to death. I hate what he did to some of my characters. He ripped the wings off of Dawnstar. Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. You're dead to me. Yeah.
Damn it, Keith. God.
But I loved his stuff, and I loved his art when he first started, and then he got into
me too.
Ambush Bug, and I was like, just stop.
You know where he got that, right?
Squares and But I loved Keith Giffen, and I loved what he did. But some of the stuff that people were saying about it, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't know how I would keep writing the Legion for 20 years. Like, what do you do? What do you do with this? He came up with some of the craziest shit. Came up with the Darkness saga and everything. Right. He came up with some of the craziest stuff. And I actually look back and go, that was pretty darn good stuff. I mean, maybe not the way I wrote it, but he had the Game of Thrones mentality. Like, I'm going to make you like somebody, and then I'm going to kill him off. Like that's what he was. He was a sadist like that. And it worked. We loved the characters, and then he would kill them off.
I think I'm a lot easier. So everybody knows, I do my reviews and all that. I'm a lot easier on comics only because this will pass. Like Superman gave up, like Bendis just did the Superman, revealing his identity, and it's like, well, this is like stupidness, right? And then you're like, they're just going to undo this. Like, why? But again, it's like when there's so many comics. And it just goes on for years, decades, right? It's like there's going to be bumps, right? But I think with movies, where I'm a little bit more harder on movies, is that you're making one movie. You've got a think tank here. You've got budget. You can pretty much do whatever you want.
And you have 2 hours.
And you have 2, right?
You might not get another shot if you bomb, so you got it's a crapshoot. Yeah,
if you bomb, you lose, right? So. Like, are you telling me you can come up with 2 hours of an interesting story for this one time when other films have done it before? That's where I'm a bit more harsh. It's not even that I hate anything. I never walk into hating anything. I gave the Marvels kind of a pass. I thought it wasn't. I like the 3 ladies, including the dreaded Brie Larson. I liked her. I liked the 3 girls in it. But the story was awful. Okay, fine. The
Yeah.
story's awful. But so again, it's like I'm pretty fair, but I mean, I gotta also point out the criticisms because you guys like you're making a movie. It's costing hundreds of millions of dollars,
Right.
and you're producing this for and then you're kind of telling everyone we got to go see it, and then you're like, well, this isn't the characters. Like, what are you guys doing? Why'd you even bother making this half the time? That's why I'm a little bit harder. Comics, they're going to come in. Some writer comes in hot shot. Oh, that's it. I'm killing off Jimmy. I'm killing Lois, and then it's like they're just gonna come back.
Yeah.
So I'm not too upset when things weird happen in the comics. And again, you could just ignore them.
Okay, I'm gonna ask this to Clobbery. Clobby, is there anybody that ever died in comics that didn't come back?
There is.
Yeah, Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben.
Man.
Maybe did he come back?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Uncle Ben stayed dead, but you're
I
right,
mean
sir.
Heroes.
Yes. But I can't think of
Marvel,
one.
Captain Marvel.
Marvel came back in a sense, but not really. He did stay dead. It was bogus, and his son is now Genus Marvel. But Marvel's probably the closest one that was consistently dead. They did a comic about him later, but dealt with other times.
Yeah.
So I'd have to say maybe Marvel.
And that was probably one of the things. I was at the comic book store then, and the death of Captain Marvel.
Me too.
I'm like, how dare you put it right on the cover? Like and then advertising it on the cover, and I'm buying this. Why am I doing this?
I too was running a comic shop at the time, and I ordered the hell out of that. Of course, they had a fire at one of the printers, and 20,000 copies burned, so it took a while to come out. But that graphic novel got me. Like, what do you mean the death of Captain Marvel? Well, it's the first Marvel graphic novel. I'm like, oh no, but it was a great book. But
my biggest regret at the comic book store was when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out. The owner of the comic book store said, "That's ridiculous. I'm not doing it. I'm not buying it." I'm like, "Just buy me 20 copies." He wouldn't buy me any. And then I went in and changed the order on issue number 2, and I changed it to 10. And then when they got there, I said, "I'm buying all of them at the cover price." And I made so much money off the number 2.
Oh,
wow.
Well done.
Gosh, I don't think
But I
Ninja
couldn't have
Turtles.
done that with number 1. I was so mad at Al.
That'd be incredible. Like to have.
Yeah.
That. I mean, I don't even.
Unreal.
Yeah, that's.
Oh,
unreal.
absolutely. Yeah, that'd be so cool.
So, what other? I mean, we've started from the beginning now. So, going from the beginning. Now, I don't know if you've Eddie, how if you've ever or if you remember, going back and from Adventure 247, but we're reading this, and it's so funny because I started with those Superboys, kind of where you all started, and then you're going back and you're like, whoa, the Legion they're all dicks. Like they treat, they hate each. It's like one guy one guy drops a ball. That's it. You're out of the Legion. You're like, dude, like what the heck? And it's all done for this dramatics. And I always read, and I'm reading it. My wife reads manga. So my wife's reading her manga and I'm reading my comics. And then I'll say like, oh no, I was like, someone's betrayed the Legion. And I'm like, oh, I bet you it's, and I'll be silly as though it's like, I don't know. Like you can't, like, you can literally tell there's no surprises. You're like, gee, I wonder if it's this character. Right. But, or it's like some stupid reason. Right.
So just like the cover, it's going to be one of the people on the cover.
It's going to be right. So, yeah. No, but the best, most of when we just did it's like, which one of these new Legionnaires? And it was Jim Shooter's first.
Oh yeah. That was one. He gave you 4 choices. Who's going to be the traitor? Karate
Nemesis.
Kid? Nemesis Kid was there, so we knew it was going to be him. Even though I knew because I already read it, but even if you hadn't read it, Nemesis Kid, Karate Kid, Princess Protector, or Pharaoh Lad, we all knew.
Yeah.
Nemesis is his
Nemesis.
name. It's in his name.
Yeah,
I like Nemesis Kid, but at that time, but Shooter actually made it interesting. At least Shooter started writing the characters with more personality. Before that, you had, and I love, I adore the creator Jerry Siegel, him and Otto Binder at first, him and then Edmund Hamilton. All those guys were. It was Mort Weisinger making them phone it in. But the tone of those books, like J-Man was saying, I guess it's the harshness of the 50s and 60s. Like people just. I mean, they were really a-holes to each other all the time. I mean, they were jerks. We laugh our ass off reviewing those because, like, wow, man, it's a little harsh, guys.
You also have to remember when they were writing back there, they never thought this was going to go anywhere.
Oh no,
they were just like, okay, we have to come up with something. Let's come up with the most ridiculous shit we can come up with. Arm fall off boy, or
right?
Yeah,
Matter Eater Lad. Let's put him in
Matter Eater Lad.
Yeah, I love the Legion because each one of their powers was kind of limited, except you had Mon-El and Superboy, and
Right.
Who were always out of the way, by the way, when something needed to happen.
yeah, even Ultra Boy could only use one power at a time. So it was like it was all these one powers that had to kind of bind together and be a family to beat the one. And I think that came out when Matter Eater Lad ate the machine that drove him nuts to save the universe. You know, like who would have thought that would have been the guy that saved the universe at the time, because he ate the machine, right? So they came up with some really good stuff. But I think it was when Shooter, and Shooter was only like 16 when he started writing the Legion, and they didn't
13
even know.
actually, yeah.
They didn't even know he was underage, and they met him once, and they were like, "Wait a minute, is your mom here?"
Yeah.
And he just started writing the Legion, and he started saying, "This is going to go somewhere. We've got to develop the characters. We got to keep it going." And I think that's my favorite thing about the Legion is they always had 6 storylines going at the same time, and they would finish one, and the next one would pop up, and the next one would pop up, and you knew what was coming. It was a big soap opera, and
it was.
Yeah,
especially after a little bit after when Shooter came back to it. We just did the first few issues that he wrote. Then he's going to be gone for a while when we get, and then he came back on the book a little bit later, and he started. He'd been reading. He had said in interviews. I saw him at a con this past year. He'd said in an interview, and he saw a shirt of yours I was wearing. And he said, "That's a cool shirt."
So Jim Shooter approved. Put that on there. Put that on. That's it. The website is updated.
Jim Shooter approved.
It was my shirt. The shirt I got from me a couple of years or a while back. It's not an all over, but it's one that has Legion of. I have Adventure 300 on the cover.
Okay,
so it's classic. He loved it, but that was even before his time, though. But anyway, yeah, he had said that he liked the Legion as a kid, but he stopped reading around like 8 years old, and a few years later, when he was 12, he started reading some comics again. He was reading some of the Marvel stuff that Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko were doing, and he thought maybe those characters have some personality. Those characters are, there's something to these stories and this art. So he thought that maybe they needed a little bit of that, and you can kind of see that in his writing, even as a kid. Even was Kurt Swan said they got these scripts from this kid. I don't know why they got scripts from a kid, and he'd drawn everything out. I didn't have to do anything hardly but draw. So he actually even drew some of those scripts. But he could. Whatever else you say about Jim Shooter later down the road, he could write Legion very well, and later he wrote Avengers very well. Yeah.
Well, he really leveled up. Like you could tell. The computer thing was sort of that's where now we're starting. Like if I was going to say, do you want to start and go classic Legion, I'd say start with the computer, whatever issue adventure it was. You can, if you're watching this later on, go through my streams and find the thumbnail that has the computer on it. Watch that whole stream. Like I would say start there, and then when Jim Shooter comes in, it super levels up immediately. Like everyone's using their powers, they're teaming up to do shit. Like all that.
He drew them as a team, not as a. I'm gonna take 4 people and put the spotlight on 4 people each issue.
True.
He drew them as a team. Like, oh no, we need this one now. We need this one now.
Yep.
And
that was so when we had just started this, Mon-El had still been trapped in the Phantom Zone during in the Superboy comics during that time. I just saw you did the shirt of the Mon-El appearance fighting that 2-headed guy. That one's awesome.
Before Superboy was with the Legion,
yes,
yeah.
So we did. For everybody, we did cover that one as part of our Legion talk.
Yeah, any appearance therein that's not an actual story, we covered.
We covered it. So at that time, the Blu-ray, I bought the Blu-ray of that Legion of Superheroes. And I was so pumped because it looked pretty good. I threw it in, and I don't know if you saw it or not, but Mon-El is the villain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sorry, trigger warning.
He told me not to watch it.
Trigger warning.
He told me not to watch it because of my blood pressure issues.
I did tell you, no, but not in a look. Highlander 2 is a great movie. We can all agree on that. But definitely do not watch. Definitely do not watch the Legion one, because that, even with my very very easygoing attitude to these things, that really angered me. I thought, oh my god, Mon-El was in prison. Such disrespect. You can't. The Legion has 4,000 villains. You couldn't pick any one of those. It has to be Mon-El.
Anybody.
Roll that. We just saw 4 villains introduced. Last week if you take the last 2 weeks of streams, there's 4 or 5 villains just in that.
Shooter created like 4 in 4 issues.
This is what I'm saying. It's like villain. Like, just pick any one of those. Like, how can you make Mon-El even to pick Mon-El, like, who is like almost the heart of, like, he comes back in the fam zone and then he's like, no, I'm still gonna be a hero and do all this great stuff. It's like, dude, like, Superboy left you hanging in the freaking fam zone. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder how much of the woke thing went into that, because he was like, let's blame the Durlin, let's blame the non-white person, and then
right,
the white Daxamite. Yeah, no,
the
that's probably a lot of it.
Blame the white guy.
There were a lot of.
I don't care about that, but not Mon-El. Blame a different white guy.
a lot of it was the woke stuff, because there were a lot of swaps in there that were like not the regular.
They did do some swaps. Listen, it doesn't kill me, but it's like, then at least pick a villain. Like, pick a villain and
right.
And then, like, then pick a white guy villain. I don't care, but don't pick Mon-El. It's
is
just
it
like,
that sort of like hot take?
It is hot take bullshit,
like Rick and Morty cynicism type of thing. Like,
right.
No offense to Rick and Morty, I don't like the show, but like,
I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
We just lost 5 viewers.
I know.
So I don't know.
I didn't say it.
So I'm going to be a little bit controversial. I didn't mind the Legion of Superheroes movie. Is that I watched it as, this is their take of a different universe. And I don't care really what happens. I liked it. I'm not one that loves origin stories, because I already know the origin story. I don't want to hear it again.
Agreed.
I want a little twist to it. Just keep it there and keep going. You know, like the Legion, when it ended, they didn't need to reboot it. I wish they would have just jumped ahead 20 years and made the Legion is now made up of their children.
Sure.
You know?
That would have been better than rebooting it.
Yeah,
I agree.
You have Wildstar, the daughter of Wildfire and Dawnstar. You have Wildstar. You know,
I like that.
That's cool.
I like that.
Come up with 1,000 different,
right?
You know, the bouncing balls. It's doing.
Yeah.
Got a bunch of them running around. You know, it's a ball that can split into a whole bunch of them and come back together.
I like it.
There's so much they could have done.
Oh, that's cool.
You should be writing Legion.
You should have been writing that. You just came up with 2 awesome ideas. You had these ideas before. You didn't just make those up right now.
Get right on that.
No, you've been thinking about this.
I
You've got scripts, don't you?
Yeah. I actually write. So one of my claim to fame is I wrote the Marvel Secret Invasion before they did. I was at a Comic-Con, and I had a group of guys that we come from Dubuque. I went to Chicago Comic-Con. We're sitting around a table at lunch, and I told them my vision of this Secret Invasion story, but I did it in DC. And at the end, and I'm like, you know, the Dominators can create these Durlins, can come in and take over these people and take over the B heroes without them knowing it. And at the end of the conversation, one of the guys in my group says, you know, that would work better in the Marvel universe with the Skrulls.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, you're right. That's what we should do.
Wow.
And they should take Spider-Woman and all those B characters and replace them throughout the year before they get to the Maxi series, and then do it. 3 years later, they came out with my story and used the exact same people I said.
Were you standing next to a Marvel table back there? You didn't realize that they heard that?
There's always people around, and I was like, someone overheard me, because all my group went, "Did you see this? Did you see this?" Like, your story is my story.
They've got the feelers are out there. They know anytime someone says Marvel, there's like a guy like it's like newspaper, like looking over the news. We got the little eye holes coming. What's going on here?
Yeah.
I didn't even watch. I did not watch the Secret Invasion thing.
It was bad.
I did not watch it. I watched the first 2. It looked kind of boring. Although I might finish. I'll finish.
It's not the story from the comics.
No, it's not the story from the. I know that. I know that. Yeah, I know they didn't.
It's
even
just
copy
Samuel L. Jackson looking bored and annoyed for 6 hours.
Well, the thing with Marvel, and I'm gonna get on my little soapbox. The thing with Marvel TV shows is Kevin Feige said to them, "I don't want anything happening in the TV shows that people have to watch to understand the movies. So nothing in the TV shows will ever affect what goes on in the movies. Then they're limited. They can't do anything. The Vision and stuff, which as good as it was, didn't do anything except turn him white. And okay, we're gonna get the white Vision at the next Marvel.
I personally love the White Vision, so I'm a little bit of a stand for that one. That's why
I'm just saying nothing happened in this.
No. I know it doesn't matter, right?
And you're like, and nothing actually happened.
Right.
Loki, nothing actually happened.
Nothing happened. in
Nothing
Loki
ever
either,
happens in any of those shows. Yeah, and then you do it, and then it turns out, I mean, the Marvel wouldn't help the Marvels, but if a lot of people who didn't watch the Miss Marvel show, which is the only one I didn't watch, is because it was a little girl. That's the only reason. I just don't care about the character. If you just go watch that movie, and you don't know anything about her. That leaves the family. A lot of people, because I've heard some people who went to see it said, "Who are these people?"
Yeah.
I didn't know. They didn't see the show.
Well, and oddly enough, I did watch the show. Again, it's a nothing. It's nothing. But there's nothing that angered me. It was just like, oh, I liked the family a lot better in the movie because it was small doses that mattered. Sometimes they take these characters and they're like, oh, we need to make an entire show out of all this.
Right.
Like, yeah, but it's now not funny. And like, we're watching it and like, okay, my wife is Indian. Like my wife is from India. So she's Indian. Right. So, and we've got the Indian relatives and some of them were like, oh yeah, I see that, you know, they played up some of the stereotypes. And I'm like, oh my God, I've seen, you know, but you're like, yeah, but this isn't that funny now. Like it's funny. It's cute and funny in like an episode. And then it's like the next one and the next one. It's like, okay, yeah, I don't like this. I'm done. But then in the movie, when they're just small doses, a little quick scene and they're like, oh, that was very funny. And then they moved on. Right. The problem with Blue Beetle is they never moved on.
Oh God, you're right there. Like, that family's way worse.
Right. Like the father in Blue Beetle was a stand-up, good person, good guy.
So
and then they killed him. And I'm like, well, you killed the only guy that was like worth anything in this.
Actually, I was watching Blue Beetle and spoiler alert, I'm watching Blue Beetle and I'm thinking, well, you know, at least they didn't kill his dad off. 3 minutes later.
Boom.
Oh, I should have saw that coming. I totally saw that coming.
We actually were like, I was, because Sean and I, we always like do a little bit when I was talking. I was like, that's cool. I said, that's pretty cool. So I'm like, oh yeah, of course, he's not.
He's a dead man.
Yeah, so he's dead. Yeah.
So as soon as I said it to my head, I said, oh, at least they made a Family Guy and they're not going to kill the dad off and make it an Uncle Ben or something like that. Right. And then I thought, wait a minute, he has heart problems. Oh, he's dead.
Hollywood, Hollywood hates fathers. They always do.
The dads always get beat up or they're die
or they're bad or they're stupid or they're everything. You know, they've been a positive father.
We should know that the mom influences the male figure more than the dad does. So they should be killing off the mom.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, the father dying doesn't really incite the hero to do anything. It incites the family to become all murderous and stuff. But the hero is never really, Blue Beetle's never really inspired by his father dying to do anything.
Yeah, see, there's so many story problem. Yeah, no, Sean. Yeah, Sean and I talked a lot about this one. Yeah, I remember, and we were really in shock with the father dying because when the father, when they shoot, I don't want this to be the Blue Beetle stream, but just quickly, like they're shooting those guys are coming in, they're shooting everybody. I was like, oh, and literally I was like, oh shit, this got serious. Like I was like, okay, this is all fun and games. Now we're effing in the real shit. And then the father got gunned down. I was like, oh shit, the father just got gunned down. Then the girl his sister got gunned down. I was like, they just gunned down the sister. I was like, shit. Then the father came running back and then he got gunned down. I was like, oh my God, they're wiping the family out. I'm like, I can't believe they're doing this. Then the girl got up, she's like, Dad. I'm like, wait, I thought you were shot.
She could get up the whole time?
Sean turns to me, he's like, wait, wasn't she shot? I was like, yeah, they shot her. And I'm like, wait, she got up? I'm like, well, what the hell was she laying on the ground for all this entire time? She was laying on the ground waiting for the father to come back to get shot. I was like, and Sean's like, she killed him. I'm like, she did kill him.
Yeah,
get your ass up and run. Yeah. And I'm like, the problem is it's so contrived. They're like, oh, the father has to die here, so let's make something. And you're like,
DC has to do that for everything. If you think about Blue Beetle, the hero of the movie was Nana.
Right, she's the only one fighting anybody. That's what I'm saying. She's fine. Yeah,
she's probably saved everybody. Blue Beetle didn't save anybody.
Nope.
Except the girls he fell in love with.
Right.
Family. He's just like, oh,
who cares? Yeah.
My girlfriend I've never kissed yet. You know?
Yeah.
Yep. And then, oh my God, there's a lot with that movie. That movie is weird.
DC has that ability to do that with any movie. Wonder Woman 1 was fantastic. Everybody knows that. She kills a god of war in the first movie. Now let's go to the second movie and put her up against
Cheetah, right?
And
I
she
know.
can't beat her
And
for
not even the
nothing.
good version of Cheetah.
Yeah, she can't even beat her for nothing, and she has I call it the Magic Laszlo and Wonder Woman.
Right.
Yeah.
I love Wonder Woman 84. I'm the only person on Earth. That's
Yes,
okay.
you are.
I'm literally the only person on Earth. I can explain it, but it's rubbish. I don't know. I love it. It's awful. I know, but I love it anyways.
I'm a Me Too person. She raped him. She raped him. He
Oh, she raped. Oh, you're the.
He did.
I'm a Me Too person. Like, you can't do that. If a man would have done that to a woman, they would have been
Oh,
up
God,
and
yeah.
running, but we would have.
I agree.
They couldn't get away with filming it or showing it, probably.
I agree with that. They wouldn't.
It's kind of like the Twilight series. Guys, she's underage and he's 114.
And he's spying on her sleeping.
Oh man, if you I wish we had all, well, Sean and I knew each other, but we didn't know each other. If we knew, because I watched all 5 Twilight movies I bought them all on Blu-ray and watched them all.
Wow.
And I was very, very fair. I actually like part 3. The other
without
ones
riff tracks? Wow.
No, normal. And so I watched them all. I was making notes, and then because I owned an escape room. I used to own an escape room, and so I owned one for about 5 years. And I had a lot of employees. It was all young girls, who wanted to be employed or whatever. We only had one guy that came out to a job interview, so this wasn't like me trying to not, Anyways, so and he did get hired though. But anyway, so they all love Twilight. So I went the next. I went over and I was like, when I watched this Twilight, I was like, the men beat the wives in part 2. They're like, no, they don't. I was like, they do. They're werewolves, and the woman she's a battered woman, and she stays with the abuser. And they're like, no, he turns into a werewolf. And I said, well, first of all, at that time I was over 300 pounds, and my employee was like a small little Taiwanese girl who was probably weighed like 90 pounds. I said, well, if me versus you would be like a werewolf, but pretty much against you, right? I said, the werewolves are in control of themselves when they become werewolves. They're literally coordinating attacks on vampires. It's like they're not.
Yes, they're
like, it's not American Werewolf in London,
right?
It's not.
Right.
It's not Werewolf in London. It's not classic Wolfman. It's like where you just lose yourself and you just attack anybody. It's like they know what they're doing. They beat their wives, and the wife stays with them, and they're saying that's an acceptable behavior in this film.
Yeah.
They're like, or you overthink this. I wasn't overthinking it. I'm like, I'm watching this movie, and this is what's happening. And then I was like, okay, I got some advice for Belle. Okay, number one, how about you finish high school? Finish high school, maybe go get a degree, maybe get a job. This guy's 100. He ain't going anywhere. He's good. You can wait a little bit more. Now, I don't have any kids, but if I did, my daughter's not going out with this 100-year-old vampire. It's like, no. You get yourself a friggin' high school diploma, get yourself a degree, get a job. Like, you can figure this guy out afterwards. That entire movie is about getting a boyfriend in high school. That's the entire series.
And you have to remember, I think she was 15 in the movie.
Yeah,
sure, yeah.
He's 105. That's pedophile,
right?
And it's like, wait. Did we think this through before?
No, they didn't.
Well, they just adapted the book. They didn't care.
Yeah, but it's just funny because I was just joking around with them, but I was not joking. I'm like, I'm joking, but not joking because my whole thing is that when if it's a reverse situation or something, then people get angry. It's like, well, this is weird, and nobody's pointing out. And those movies came out before all of this situation that we're in now, where everyone points everything out. But
people have been canceled for less.
They've been canceled for way less.
Way less.
For jokes. Just for So anyway, I mean, I don't want to turn this into that, but like
it's just way off of Legion, but that's okay.
That's okay. Well, let's take a look. You know what? I wanted to show this site because I do have it up. Let's take a look at it anyways. Can I show? I can show.
Absolutely.
And let me remove the overlay because it's just irritating. All right. So, what was bearded shirts? Just because you had the beard, you wanted to have a beard on a shirt? That was where that name came from.
Yeah. I am. It actually started. I was a graphic designer. I had a graphic design firm back in Iowa, and I was hired by this Ring of Fire group to do a bunch of concept shirts. And I drew a bunch of concepts, and 2 of them were beards. And they never bought the beards. They bought 3 other ones. And years later, I decided I'm going to go through my stuff and see what I can put on a t-shirt. I found these beards. I'm like, this is pretty cool. I'd wear this shirt. So I put it out, and I got a cease and desist from Macy's.
What?
Because Ring of Fire is owned by Macy's. It's their brand name. And actually their address is for Ring of Fire is actually a lawyer's office. So that tells you one thing. And they gave me a cease and desist, and they said, I can't print the shirt. I said, this is my design. No, we bought these years ago from someone. I said, that was me, and you didn't buy them. You only bought the concept page and then paid for 3 of them off the concept page. And here I found out they were putting out that same exact shirt at Macy's and put a cease and desist to me.
Oh my God.
So I said, you know what? I'm going to call my company Bearded Shirts, and I'm going to put every beard I can on a shirt. I won't sell that one because that was the least selling shirt anyway.
Right.
And I changed it up and put a Santa beard on and sold hundreds of them. And I really just called my company Bearded Shirts to piss off Macy's.
Oh, I love it. That makes it even better.
Yeah. I said, you can't tell me what to do. So and I just came out. I lost everything. I didn't have a dime. Come get me,
Okay, so we're looking at, so what I usually do, the all over print ones. So basically when I had first, I've been there from the beginning for these print all over shirts because I've been seeing them as they've come out, and they're crazy bright. So you had sent me a few, and this is one of them. And I remember when I got the package, and so my wife and I were looking, I was like, whoa, this is like so vibrant. Now this one is like my favorite shirt. I've worn this a bunch of times, so it's been through the wash at least 5 times easy that I can remember. And it's like it's unbelievably vibrant. I don't know, like I don't even know if you can tell, like based on just like my lighting and everything. And I've got an undershirt on because it's freezing here.
No, it comes out like well on camera.
Yeah, like it's so vibrant.
One of the things that people ask me is, I know these are mock-ups on the thing. How are they going to look in person? I've only had one person come back, and I think it was a Legion cover. It wasn't purple enough for them, so I went in and changed it. I went in and changed the purple and sent them another shirt. I'm all about making my customers happy. So I changed the shirt and sent it to them. And because it just wasn't purple enough, it was really fuchsia looking on the screen, and I'm like, okay, they want purple. I'll get them purple.
Right.
But they're as vibrant as what I advertise them as, and I think that's the greatest thing about the all over print, because we print. It's actually a print adhered to a fabric, and then we cut them out, we sew them together, and then ship them out. So that's why they take longer.
Right.
And we are backed up considerably, which we knew we were going to, and that's why my sale right now goes down 1% every day.
Which is a great idea, man. My wife was like, oh, that's a bloody awesome idea. I was like, yes, that is awesome.
Well, one of the reasons I do it is I want people to buy them now so they have them by Christmas, because they do take 3 to 4 weeks. And we're 3 or 4 weeks away. So I'm ending the sale on Friday. Black Friday is the last day of the countdown sale, which I think is 30%. It's 30 days to Christmas. And so that's why I'm doing the sale. Every day it goes down 1%. I'm trying to get people to buy them quicker now so that I can get them to their hands. Right. I can't promise them after the 1st of December. I can't promise them that they'll get them by Christmas.
And I have explained that to so whenever I do my video and I or my streams and I talk about it, I do say these are like created, like they're printed and then they're sewn up. Like typically you would have shirts just ready to go and then you just print on them, right? But that's not how this works. Yeah. And I could just tell that intuitively. Not that. I used to get the shirts as a kid where they, the iron and they'd heat press it on like that, like those days, like you were saying, like where you just have like
a person actually sticks this in a sewing machine and sews it up for you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They're
done. Which is crazy. So I really like this is awesome too. Like I love the way these look, the vibrancy of them, and you're getting all these great covers.
And I like how the covers just go off.
Beautiful.
I just love that
yes.
You don't get all the logo, but your mind fills in the logo anyway,
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter.
And on the back it usually has the full logo on the back. So
some of them work out perfectly too. Like even like I was looking at this, honestly, I was thinking, man, this is awesome because it's Jack Kirby. But like even how like this one bled over into the sleeves too, which is like super cool. Like it.
That's all design. So that's actually me taking it and.
Oh, I got you.
No. I have to
Oh.
piece them all together. So those are all pieced together that way. And I
okay.
use an AI. I use an AI program. So the comic book comes out and it's so wide, and
Right.
I tell it to stretch it out. It redraws it out in the same style of the comic. So it takes time to do it and to get the AI to do it right. But I extend it that I don't lose the sides of it. So a lot of those are like
okay.
ALA was a cover of a comic book when I started with it. So
Oh my God, I love that Challengers cover. Those JLA covers are killing me too, man. Just anything bronze and silver, I'm just sucker for, man. I love it so much.
I mean, this is bloody awesome. I mean, they're literally like every one of them is awesome. I mean, I don't know, like if you're pumped, like I was like, oh man, Legion, like you got to get like this is like the first one. Yeah, Superboy's like, what? Why am I not?
So you're gonna love the next sets that come out too.
Yeah. So you've been adding. Like, geez, every time I log in every morning, and then it's like this top row is different every time. Like I just saw these, and then sometimes it's it's deceptive because if you go to the last page, you'll see new ones on that page.
That's because of the secret sale. You can sometimes get those pulled into the secret sale.
Yes. Okay.
I found out the size. I think I'm gonna get that Dazzler for Michael. What do you think there? He'll love it, man. What do you think?
I mean, I love that Dazzler too. Like, I mean, Dazzler's. I've got the entire run of Dazzler and her first appearance. I don't know why I like Dazzler. It's so random.
But that shirt looks awesome.
That shirt is like super epic. Did we pass it?
It came out in the 80s. We were like, oh, it's Xanadu.
Yep.
Okay, you know what? So I like Xanadu. I don't know. Listen, you know,
Cool.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
No.
Everyone shit talked that movie. I just saw it last year for the first time. Everyone shit talks it for my whole life. It was Xanadu. I'm like, okay, F it. I'm sitting down watching Xanadu. I was like, I kind of.
There's a Marvel Super Special on it.
Like,
yeah, no, they adapted it. Well, I'm glad she didn't look like she was originally intended to look, because she was supposed to be based off of Grace Jones originally. So, now you done and done it. You gone and done it, Eddie. There's another one there. I think you'll love almost as much. Now I don't know what to do, but I'm going to pick.
this is bloody awesome. This is just so good.
Awesome. Yeah.
Which one did you say? Sorry, Club. Which one were you looking at just now?
G.I. Joe cover number 1.
Oh, G.I. Joe's awesome. Yeah,
Michael loves that. He loves the Larry Hama series. Yeah. Oh my God, look at that Avengers shirt.
And you did for G.I. Joe, you did the American, like the flag colors, right? That was cool on the sleeves. That was really neat. Did I pass that one? Sorry, the problem is I can't see the chat or you guys or anything when I go back to the site. So that's why it's a little bit of a. See, I can watch it. Oh, Gene Kelly, exactly.
Yes,
come on.
It was actually Xanadu was the movie that killed his career.
Oh no!
He never got
Xanadu.
He never got another one, and he blames it on Xanadu.
Oh no!
I think Melinda reviewed that about a year or two ago.
Oh, you guys are mean. That's it. I'm done. Here's G.I. Joe. Yeah, here we go. Let's take a look at that. This is awesome.
That's beautiful.
My internet's being, I don't know. I should get other internet than KFC. I don't know why KFC has internet. I'm just joking. That's what it's not loading. It's just my internet. Let me look at my internet connection.
Well, you're still streaming, so your internet.
I'm still streaming, so I'm good. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's back. All right. Yeah, look at that. That's killer.
Damn, now I don't know which one to choose for him. He'd love them both.
No, get him Dazzler 100%. I don't really. I've never spoken to him, but I could, based on his videos.
Remember the video that I helped him on about Pride of the X-Men, which was one of his biggest videos. I was consulting with him on his X-Men and that. You know, he's always, even that one, he collects the figures, even the Dazzler. He just always loved that.
I've got all the Dazzler figures too. Yep.
He's a big Kylie Minogue fan, so I guess they're kind of similar. I don't know. And Michael, if you're watching this, you didn't hear any of this because
no, surprise you. I don't think Michael's not on my.
He might. He's not a Legion guy, but he might have.
Okay, maybe
he lurks.
He lurks. Yep, awesome.
So for the next batch of shirts, we are going to be doing a lot more Legion, a lot more Legion covers that cover the shirt. I'm just actually whatever somebody asks for, if I can get the design and graphic and make up a shirt. If you have somebody that you really want, let me know. And like I'm doing let me see me pull up
one of my giveaway winners. What did he want? He wanted one of the DC Presents or something. And you showed it to me, so I don't know if did you ever?
Which DC Presents was
I
it?
think so. Yeah. That was it. Yeah,
I don't
can't
remember the number, man.
How about that Wildfire Legion 283 cover? You gonna do that one? So, look at that. That's beautiful.
Legion
Yeah, it's awesome.
3.
You know.
You know, well, you showed. I think you showed Jay a picture of it. I don't know if you got to put it on the site.
Oh yeah, that's probably going up tomorrow.
Oh my
So
god.
that was someone that said he said do the Wildfire, and I'm like, okay, let's get that done.
Yeah.
So
Jim Aparo. I love that issue, by the way, with his origin, and that's a Jim Aparo cover. So
I can't tell which I'm looking at. So for we did have a giveaway last month. Yes, we did 4 giveaways last month. Thank you to Eddi for that. And one of the winners wanted this one. I can't see the number now. Oh, I think it's like 59. DC Presents. I actually have this issue because I have almost all of DC.
oh, it's
Presents.
the one. Is it the one with the Keith Giffen cover, like the subs?
Yeah, it's the subs. I can add it. I can add it as a hold on. Let me add it as an overlay for 2 seconds. You can see what it is.
Yeah, that was.
I'll
weird.
put it as an overlay.
That was a
for
fun.
just-
It was when it was really a goofy
That
comic,
one.
but it was fun. Yeah.
yeah, the DC yeah, with the Legion of Super
So,
subjects.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, with the
Yes,
substitutes.
indeed. Love
so
it.
there you go.
That was,
Okay,
That was substitutes always sell. They sell very well. Especially
nice.
they outsold some of the other pints. So the pint glasses I
Mhm.
do with all my
really?
I love those.
substitutes sold quite a few more than the regular ones did. So
I bought the Polar Boy pint glass, and I bought the Superboy. And then I actually got the Saturn Girl, the little, I don't know what they're just, it's just a heart. It's like a heart with like it's like a
the acrylic.
I don't know I don't know what to do with those, but it looks so cool. I'm like, I'm just gonna buy it. And then my wife's like, you should have gotten, I think she like Night Girl. So you should have got Night Girl. I was like, oh, maybe I'll get Night Girl next time, because she just goes by look. She has no idea I like the characters at all. She's like literally just like whoever looks cool to her. But this shirt is
That's like
bloody
badass.
badass.
That's the best uniform.
yeah. As a football fanatic, one of the things I do love, I got to admit, are the uniforms. Even teams I hate, I like their uniform.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we have
Battle of a Century.
a lot more Legion coming up. A lot more of
Nice.
your off the wall characters from DC that you just
Wouldn't
might only
expect.
have one appearance or something like that. Somebody asked for, and I'm doing a lot of those.
Wow.
I'm blanking. Like Superboy and Crypto. I'm getting a lot of.
Oh, nice.
Legion.
God, I love that.
The Legion of Super Pets are big.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
On the back wall, you can see I did
I saw you.
those are my art. That's
Oh, nice.
Crypto
Wow.
and Comet.
I can
And I
make
did
you.
series of
We'll make you full screen for a second. There you go.
Oh, that's beautiful stuff. Wow, man. Comet. Oh, man.
and those are actually tin plates. So I'm going to be putting out tin plates of different comic covers and
Oh, I do have a
love
tin.
tin
I don't know if you're gonna. So you sent me a tin plate. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this. It's in my. It's So I've got. You see it there? It's behind. It's behind Supergirl.
Yes.
It's glaring, so I don't know if you can see. So it's pretty large. Like if you see this, it's above the statue. So I don't know what the dimensions are on it, but it's pretty.
20 by 30 centimeters.
20 by 30, yeah. Those are so cool. So I was like, what the heck is this? I didn't know what it was. Then I pulled, I was like, oh, this is so awesome. So I was like, well, I'll put it right. So I literally had a perfect spot for it right there.
These are printed on metal.
Oh, let's see.
Middle.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah, look at that.
This
Oh,
one's
that's
even
awesome.
bigger. So
Yeah, Comet. That's awesome.
yeah, these will be real good sellers once I get the pricing done on them and everything. So
Did you do the art on that shirt, Eddie?
on the Comet?
On yours? On your shirt you're wearing?
Yeah. Yep, this is all mine.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, you drew every character, right?
Let me
I've
grab
got-
one. I'll show you.
I have that. I think I have that as a T-shirt, like his
Yeah.
tank top. I think I have that as
Yeah.
a shirt.
So
I have
this,
it as a
this was the shirt I wore out last night.
Oh, let's take a look.
Oh,
Oh, man.
wow.
It's metallic velvet.
Oh,
Yeah, this is my Wonder Woman art.
Is that
So-
Alex Ross or no? Somebody
No,
else?
that's my art.
Your art. Man, you're better than Alex Ross then.
Yeah, no, I mean that's awesome. That's what I'm
I
saying. It's
mean,
awesome. Wow, that's awesome.
I'm telling you, the shirt makes it look just absolutely beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Wow, that's
Holy
crazy.
crap, dude.
This is the shirt I said I've never been touched more in my life.
We're gonna send that. We're
Even
gonna
the
send
women,
that to my.
even the women at the gay tea dance are coming up and rubbing all over me. I'm like, okay.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get that for our buddy Steve. Steve is gonna need. Steve, we're all. Well, I'm. Sean's married. I'm married. So it's like we gotta. It's like Steve. We get send that over to Steve.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna send you guys each something on the velvet because I want you to feel it and you can talk about it. But it's I mean like that Firestorm that's on the screen would look so fantastic on a velvet.
Oh
shirt.
Wow, yeah, that's nice.
Shine and shimmer. So I'm going to be coming out with some more of the velvet shirts and
so so would that be
Avengers
a print that it could any of those be is it a selectable thing?
I'm going to be putting it on some of the selections. So you can go, hey, I want a t-shirt in velvet or a tank top in velvet.
So can I show? All right. So this is for the benefit of the chat.
Oh man, I love that.
Chat, just to show you now, this is a print all over. I'll show you the regular shirts as well. So it's basically you just pick your size and that's fine. And then the shirt type. So you've got polyester. So this is polyester. So actually, there's some of them have different options. Hold on.
Yeah.
Where's like one?
None of the secret sales have that. So go to the first.
Go to first page.
Yeah, and
so like this Wonder Woman have that. Yes. Okay. So when you go on here, you can see
on the screen, but
it can. Oh, can you see it? Yeah, it'll be hard. It'll be a little hard to see, but
pull downs don't show.
Yeah. Okay. But you can see the difference. So this is polyester.
We have a cotton polyester, and we have a regular polyester. Then we have a tank top, and then we're going to be adding velvet to some of those.
So what do I have right now? What's this? Polyester?
It does it have like a texture to it?
Yeah, it feels like a jersey. It feels like I don't want to say a hockey jersey, but like kind of like a.
Yeah, so that's what we call bird's eye. It's our polyester shirt.
Okay, so that's the norm. That's your first option.
Feels stretchy, so it feels a little more smooth, like a cotton shirt.
Okay, because this one's very vibrant.
They're all very vibrant because they're all printed the same way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the ones we have, because you sent me some, thank you. But again, by the way, I have about 4 of the shirts now. Those are the polyester, right?
Yeah, those are the what we call bird's eye. Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
So now that's on those. I don't want to take away because the first stuff that I did order was just these sort of, I guess you call them ready. So it's like there's like Superboy ready, like Cosmic Boy ready, and then that's just your one guy. So let's look at a couple of those. Let's just go to the homepage and just pick any. Is there any kind of regular character? Like let me just look at Superboy or something.
Click on Legion Wear.
Legion Wear.
Yep, Legion Wear right in the middle there. Yeah.
Legion Wear. There you go. Okay, there you go.
And then click on Legion Ready series. See it up there, right there.
Legion Ready. Yeah. All right. So here you go. Yep. So that it'll load.
Those shouldn't be on there. I'll have to change that.
Yeah, no worries. There's one of the hearts that I was talking about. I got one of these, but I got Saturn Girl on there. Yeah. So here's a whole bunch. I didn't know you. Oh yeah, you got the couples ones too. This is the one that not Shadow Lass. It was Night Girl she was saying to get, but these are all cool. So I'll just search for Superboy because I'm just
just go Superboy Ready and you should find it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's Superboy 89.
Search works really well.
All right, so I have this shirt.
Oh man. Oh yeah, beautiful.
Now, so again, here you've got so you can now and this one's a little bit different because you pick your size, you pick your style, t-shirt or tank top, but then you can pick your color that you have on the back.
Right.
So that's different. Now, I believe I think you actually have it says works best with, like it's like suggested. So there's a suggested section that says black or navy, right? So I think I just did navy because I've got so many black shirts. I'm like, I don't need more black. And then so these are the couples. So you can have the two couples. And I actually like the couples because I feel like I'm getting 2 Legionnaires in one. Like that was my thought process when I was doing it because I got Karate Kid and Princess Projectra, who has the best super name of all time. But here's Superboy, and this is the first one I had to have. Oh, that's you right there. There you go. I had to have this Superboy because it's just like.
I told everybody I started a t-shirt company so I could be a model.
Did you say? Oh, this is awesome. This is a print. Oh, so you've got.
I have that one. I got that from you a while back, way back.
The print.
Yeah,
There's a poster.
beautiful.
Yep.
It's a poster.
Mike,
Okay.
that's Mike Grell wraparound cover. Well, you know, Sean has a shirt of it. That's of that Legion tabloid, the wedding of Lightning Lad and Saturn Girl. Unfortunately, Vince Coletta inked it, but it was still a lovely book. And
I actually had that tabloid.
I got Grell to sign mine, as you know, but he signed it too small. You can barely see it.
Oh, I saw a great. I was on another guy's stream who pulled out. He's like, "Oh, J-Man will appreciate this." Mike Grell signed on a Superboy comic. Bloody perfect, beautiful signature, very legible in the center, right where it says Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes, and like right in between that gap where there's like a little gap. He signed it perfectly, and I was like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "How did you get that signature?" And he was like, "I met Mike Grell." And he's like, and he said he gave him something. He's like, he gave him like, he's like, "Oh, this is my lucky charm." It was like some little thing, and he gave it to Mike Grell. He's like, "Oh, thanks, I appreciate that." And then I was like, "So you got to bribe him?" Is basically what you got to get the placement here.
Pretty sure he's a nice guy, though. Yeah. He's a friend of a friend, and he shows up to his shop every now and then. Do some. I have that tumbler.
So I think Clobberin is the tumbler champion.
I have that one. I have two of these now. So. Yes, what does he need with two of them? I don't know because I have three. I'm sorry, I have three.
Yeah, so I mean,
those
I don't
are great
drink.
Though. Those things are great, man.
Yeah, these look pretty cool. I
Very sturdy.
I like the pint. I don't know. The pint glasses to me remind me of those WWE, right, Sean? You know what I'm saying?
The Burger King glasses and the McDonald's glasses, and yeah.
And I've been going hardcore on Alan Scott, reading All American Comics. I read the first like 5 or 6 now with him, maybe 7 or 8 now of his, and then I've been reading some of the Green Lantern. So I've been going hardcore Alan Scott. So I was like, oh, I gotta check. And then now here we're gonna show the shirt that started it all, I guess, which Sean actually has. So oddly enough, this was not planned, obviously, because we didn't think about it. But Sean and I went to a show, and he was wearing the Ultra Boy.
I was wearing it.
You were Ultra Boy yesterday. You were wearing it yesterday. I was like, oh my god.
Which one?
The Ultra Boy. Well, actually,
that shirt is weathered.
It's the weathered. Yeah. But the logo.
I love the logo. It's so striking, the green and red.
Yes,
that's beautiful.
The thing is, no one at that show knows who that is. So
wow, you got to run Vidar Green Lantern.
I did a full Ultra Boy costume for a Comic-Con here, and no one knew who he was.
Yeah.
Not a single person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I can literally beat everybody. I tell this story all the time. This is the number one beat everything ever. I don't know how old I was. We had a Halloween party. I was in Taekwondo, so we had a Halloween Taekwondo like party, whatever. I came dressed as Wolverine. Nobody knew who it was.
Oh yeah,
they didn't know who Wolverine was.
This is back. I had the claws, and I didn't, and I didn't have the mask, but I did the hair and all that. And
wow.
I had the mutton chops, and they're like, "Who's that?" I was like, "Oh, I'm Wolverine." They're like, "Who's that?" Can you even fathom someone
weird.
today?
No, that's weird.
And you're like, just wait.
Just wait.
Someday.
Just wait 10 years.
Yeah, just wait 10 years.
When was that? The 80s?
Yeah, it's early.
People knew who he was. Well, I guess they only knew the comics. I guess.
When did Wolverine #1? Not the first miniseries, but then the next.
Yeah, the John Buscema one. That was in the mid 80s. Yeah.
So there you go. Like that comic to me would change your life. I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. I was like, this is so cool.
Wow.
My first ever comic book. I bought 2 comic books on my first ever comic book convention. First ever comics I ever bought was the Punisher War Journal with the claws going through the Punisher's shirt, Jim Lee, and then the other one I bought was Spider-Man versus Wolverine, and
gotcha.
I loved both those. Clobby, I know you're like no, that's a say no. Oh no, are you cool with those or?
I'm cool with anything, man. I love it all now. I decided to stop hating things because it only gets me in trouble.
They didn't know what the.
I'm just kidding. I still hate everything.
Oh yeah. By the way, this is in Canada, right? Like this is a disgrace.
Yeah, they don't know. Damn it, that pisses me off. Did they know who Captain Canuck is?
Yeah.
Well, at the time he was.
They certainly do know that. He's everywhere at the comic shop in my place. Yeah. Yeah, you know who Captain Canuck is. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Even
I did it. Since the 70s. Yeah, even. Yeah.
This is awesome.
A bunch of Captain Canuck comics.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, George Freeman issues.
I love, so at one point in my life, I could have been any hero. You could have been like, okay, I want you to be this guy. It's like, well, not any hero, obviously, but like I had like, it's like all the top Marvel guys, all the top DC guys. I had all of the logo shirts, and like I would do, like for when I would take my my nieces and nephews out for like trick or treating, I would go as Clark Kent, and then I would have a shirt that's opened up, and I'd have the Christopher Reeve like shirt underneath, so it'd be like I'm changing into Superman.
Right.
So that allowed me to wear a jacket, and like because it's always cold out in Canada, so I could wear a jacket and a shirt and all that, and still be sort of in the I didn't want to scare them. Like I could go. I've got Michael Myers full costume, Jason. I had Freddy at the time, Leatherface. I've got, and I don't have the Leatherface. Like the Leatherface mask I have is like legit, like Leatherface. Like it's like movie quality, like $100 plus mask, like legit Leatherface mask.
So talking about cosplay, I do have quite a few cosplay shirts. If you type in
Let's take a look.
Just they're kind of more the costume shirts.
Yep.
Take a guess what the number one selling cosplay shirt is.
I'll guess.
I have no idea. Robin. That's what I would get. But
nope, not even close.
Wow. Firestorm?
well,
He's one of the Legion. He's not on that page.
Oh, Legionnaire.
He's one of the Legion. Maybe is he not showing up?
I don't. Let me see who do we got
He's on there. Bouncing Boy is the
Bouncing Boy.
Oh, Bouncing Boy's here.
There he is. Hey,
Bouncing Boy is the number one selling cosplay shirt.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
When I
because I actually do up to 6XL, so people are like,
that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I used to be 350 pounds, and the only I actually went to the Comic-Cons as Fat Captain America every year. And I have pictures of me being Fat Captain America, and I literally pushed my fat body into a large Captain America, and it was just bursting at the seams. Everybody wanted pictures of Fat Captain America. But really, the only superhero I can do was Bouncing Boy. So Bouncing Boy is the number one selling cosplay.
Yeah, and when I did the giveaway, so in the giveaway we said, tell us who your favorite is. Bouncing Boy was the most favorite of all. And I'm like, really? And I'm like, okay. And people were just like, I like Bouncing Boy. And I don't know, he is pretty neat. And the shirt is
it's always
very recognizable.
Bouncing Boy and Matter Eater Lad.
Oh, wow.
Everybody loves Matter Eater Lad for some reason.
I love that Star Boy.
The Visible Kid looks.
I am legendary in the cosplay circuit analyst for one reason. Only time I ever cosplayed in my life. I'm probably, I guess, no, you can't, unless you had a time machine, you couldn't necessarily prove it. I'm probably the first person on the planet that cosplayed Rorschach from Watchmen. The reason why I think this is because there were only 2 issues of Watchmen out at the time when I did it at Dallas Fantasy Fair. And a buddy of mine that did a performance. He was Captain Carnage, who didn't have a costume. He was just mentioned. And we made it to his costume. I broke his fingers on stage, and he did a big comedy act, and we won the costume contest.
Oh, nice.
So I'm the first Rorschach cosplayer. Damn it, I was like 20. Right. I was 15 people smaller than I am now, but
Well, I mean, I had to get rid of all of my. I had to restock all my clothing or whatever. Like I had an actual like medical. I had to lose. Like they're like you have to lose this weight. So that's why. But then I restarted all my shirts and I lost all my.
So you're saying I should take my doctor seriously when he says that to me then?
Well,
news to me. I mean,
yes, I think you are.
All right, I'll look into it.
Look into it. I mean, kidding. The thing is, my family like because like we had like diabetes was big, and like my mom's cousin lost both legs. Like it's like all that stuff. So to me, that was like a horror. That was a scary word. I'm like,
wow.
Well, I gotta lose it. So I did, but I mean, yeah, and it was like I had a shirt of I could have been a different superhero or horror movie thing. Like at one day I could go with 365 without repeating the shirts, and even now they're burst. So every time like Eddie is sending stuff, I'm literally removing other things because I'm like, well, I got to make room for them. My wife's like, when these came in, we're like, we literally can't fit them. I'm like, okay, hold on, let me see what I can get rid of, and I'm like, I don't know. Listen, I had a Harley Quinn shirt from like Birds of Prey, the movie. I know it's awful, but I don't, whatever. And I'm like, I guess I could get rid of this one. Then I thought, no, I'm not gonna get rid of this one. I ended up getting rid of something else. but I was like, that's my mentality. I'm like, well, this movie didn't like. A lot of times I'll get pumped for the movies and I'll start getting stuff, and then you watch me like, ooh, this wasn't very good. And I never learned my lesson because I continuously do it. I'm like, I can get rid of some of these, and then I can replace them with other stuff. So I just put it there. We have a donation. It's pretty cool. I don't know how you guys have it, but you can donate to stores and stuff. But I mean, we have like boxes that you can literally you wrap it up and you donate it and you just put it in the box, and then someone comes every day and collects it from the box and takes it to the shelters or whatever. So it's like across the street. So it's like I just walk over and you can put in anything, toys, any clothing, whatever, and they just come and pick it up. So you don't even have to drive to the shelter. They come and get it. So I got rid of like 3 garbage bags full of stuff. It's like they must have been happy that day. It's like, and so I didn't even wear it because I just buy stuff and not wear it. I'm like, oh, I'll wear this one time, and then I don't even remember. Okay.
You definitely don't want to see my closets.
Oh, are they crazy?
I used to buy every one of the shirts I designed. I'd get one and put it in my closet, and I have 3 closets full now. So. And I decided that I would take a bunch of shirts and give them to Revivals, a secondhand store here. Mm-hmm. And I gave a bunch of shirts to them, and I went to the bar a couple of weeks later, and somebody walks in with one of my shirts and goes, "Look at what I got at Revivals for $4." And I was like, "You have never bought a shirt from me. You have never." And you go and buy mine and then put it in my face. You only paid $4 for it.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm never donating. From then on, I just donate straight to the homeless. I'm like, just give them away. Do not sell them. I do not want them bought by my friends that won't buy a regular t-shirt from me. So
I catch my buddy Sean and I have a mutual friend. I catch him. We're doing the stream now. He's messaging me, "Hey, did you see this?" Just some like it's like, so I guess you're not watching the stream right now because you're watching trailers of shit. It's like Madam Web trailer. Yeah, I saw that already 100 years ago, or not 100. I saw that the second. It's like, oh, new Godzilla. Yeah, I saw that trailer. Like it's like, you're watching these trailers I'm on right now. Like, come on. And Sean knows who I'm talking about. And then I'll be like, by the way, I'm live right now. Why don't you come on? And he's like, oh, I didn't know, notifications weren't turned on. Okay, whatever. I wanted to look at like, oh man, you did this cover as a all over.
Yep.
With the 2 Mr. Terrifics, which is awesome. This was awesome. And what was the other one? And then I want to show everybody the glasses too. So I really like these a lot. Now, again, they look weird here because like this is like, it's so vibrant. It looks good when you put a drink in it. Like
they're pretty vibrant.
They're very, very super vibrant. Yeah. And they're just so neat.
Yeah.
And
beautiful.
I mean, this takes me back, as Sean, you were saying, to those old
glasses, yeah.
Yeah. And then what did you say you ordered Warlord, Sean, or what did you say?
I didn't order it yet, but there is a Warlord glass, yeah.
No, but did you get some other Warlord thing? I can't remember.
Not yet, not from Beard and Shirts. No.
One of the things that got me on was
the Warlord.
When Clobby was mentioning and I was like, and I don't know what happened, but I came across, I was like, Warlord. I was like, oh hell cool. Yeah. And then what happened was Warlord got me in, and then I was like, oh man, Superboy. Like, oh, I gotta get Superboy. And then I just went all got everything Superboy, and I didn't even get the Warlord thing, which is what actually got me to come on. But like, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a Warlord anything. Like how you were saying, I wish there was a shirt of that. There's so many of those on here where I'm thinking, yeah, Warlord, like holy shit, is like
it ran a good while. Mike Grell
yet again, right? So another but these are all cool. Yeah, the glasses.
He was on a JLA Unlimited episode too.
Yep, I've got the toy of that.
He was just on JLA War.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
When was when wait what?
The new one that just came out.
The one, what's that?
The
A
movie.
few months ago, the animated movie. That
Oh, I have it, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah, he's on
I
that.
own everything.
pissed me off. They made Jonah Hex bad. I want to.
Oh, are they making the bad guy?
I made
Oh.
Warlord bad too.
Yeah, they made him bad too. They made Travis Morgan was bad, and Jonah Hex was bad. Like I know it was like a dream sequence type thing, but
But then again, it's a alternate thing.
it was a
The one thing DC did wrong is they didn't use the alternate universes for, and then they tried to put it all down to one, and then they brought them all back. It's like
right.
when they went to New 52, they didn't need to do that. All they need to do is say, hey, we got this new world. We're going to start a new series of stories from that, and kept some of the old ones that worked. Could have kept the Legion, could have kept the Batman.
Exactly.
And then gone over and just done like Marvel did with their alternates, you know.
That's what I was saying back then, because I hate the Screw 52. It chased me completely away from DC. But, if they just done that, I could respect it. Just like I hate the Ultimates, but I would be like, they let people decide. They could still have their regular universe.
Right.
And if people wanted to read these stories with these warped versions of the characters, then, be my guest. But they didn't give you the choice, which I hate.
Right. Yeah, they just took them away and then had to bring them back. And I was like, how are they going to write themselves out of this?
Usually Dr. Manhattan was really stupid.
And they do this all the time with this stuff. Well, that's what I'm saying for comics. It's like, it's going to pass. And then they do Rebirth. And now it's Dawn of DC or whatever it is. I'm going tomorrow. I go every Tuesday to the shops and get whatever it is. And then either like it or not. But what else can we look at here that we haven't? Is there anything we haven't? I mean, you also have to go with the bear motif. There's just like cool shirts which is bears like as an animal.
Yep. Well, in the gay world, we have a bear contingent that doesn't get a lot of shirts, doesn't get a lot of attention. So I guess I'm considered a gay bear. So I started doing beards and bears. and then I got into the comic book stuff, and that took off. And I was like, you know what? I really just like the comic book stuff. But I still put out a lot of bears. I still put out some cartoon stuff. Like I just did Papa Smurf as a.
I saw that.
That's
That's hilarious.
That one was Papa Smurf.
I just saw that. Yeah, it's like Papa Smurf has like a big buff, guy.
I started wearing my Papa Smurf shirt, and then everybody started calling me Papa Smurf, and so now I'm called Papa everywhere.
Nice. And then you've got the bags and stuff. Now I actually have one of the bags as well, but I don't have it. Oh, it's in the closet.
I'm tempted to get one of those bags. Is it cool for a dude to have a bag like that?
Sure, why not?
It's a Legion, huh?
They're shopping bags.
Oh,
yeah.
It's got the Legion on it. That's the only excuse I really need.
Yeah, exactly.
But I can't choose.
So what are these?
It's so cool.
Yeah. So these. Okay. So that's the front. That's the back. That's
the canvas bag.
So it's a canvas. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
By the
way, Eddi, do you have a favorite Legion artist? Everyone seems to have a favorite.
So I'm going to be controversial though.
That's okay.
Sinar is my favorite comic book Legion artist. He is an incredible guy, but his art was just so fantastic. The only problem with his stuff is he does a lot of covers, and it was in the Earthman series. And no one wants Earthman on a shirt because he's a guy. And so all of the shirts that have Earthman on it won't sell.
That was when Levitz came back. Yeah.
Yeah, he did such good art, and I loved his Timberwolf versus the Sun Emperor cover. I loved most of his covers were just fantastic, and the interior art was fantastic too. But other than like George Perez when he did the Legion, he was fantastic. Steve Lytle was a very good friend of mine.
Oh wow, he was so good.
Yeah, he was very, very good, and so
Is this Earthman?
So yes, Nemesis Kid becomes Earthman. It's Nemesis Kid, right?
Yep.
He becomes Earthman,
That's
and
correct.
he's basically a white supremacist asshole. that only likes Earthers, and so he becomes they make him join the Legion because the law puts him in there.
Yeah,
they have to deal with it. And
some of that's Gary Frank art, but yeah, that was Levitz too. I mean, it was.
Yeah, and some of the stuff that he wrote, everybody hated, but you kind of hated Earthman more than the writing.
Yeah, I actually like some of the stuff he did.
Oh my God, you hate him. Yeah.
Well, it was because it was Levitz doing his Legion. It's just it was set. They were older, like if the time had really passed, as opposed he kind of just was skipping over. It was after the Lightning Saga, and it was he was actually skipping over like what he would have been doing with Legion if he had done it all this time. So I didn't mind, even though obviously there's some of the characters were redesigned and all that stuff. I could deal with it. I used to write him, talk to him back and forth on Facebook about the comic all the time. And then when Screw 52 was coming along, and he told me, I asked him, "Is this going to be the same Legion? Like there was a Superboy and all that stuff, like you brought back?" He said, "Well, no, you'll just have to wait and see." And I said, "Okay, that's all I needed to know."
Actually, if you're on the website and you type in Lytle, you'll pull up a few things he did specifically for me.
Oh, really?
He drew a Tellus for me, and it's a black and white Tellus.
Man, I love Tellus, by the way.
And
so what should I look for? So Steve Lytle.
Go to my website.
Oh, go to your website. Oh, Beard Shirts. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Have it bookmarked. Boom. Haha.
Type in Lytle. Type in Lytle in the search. I think it'll come up.
Oh, okay.
Lytle.
He did the shirt that
yeah,
both Sean and I have. They
he drew that one for me.
Oh, wow.
And
okay,
when he passed away, I put it out on a shirt. So
oh my goodness, Lytle was.
Well, that is so. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I love Tellus.
Yeah, he created that character too. So
yeah, I love his run on the book. I really do. And
yeah,
it's one of my favorites.
Look at. I remember when I did the symbols. I did the whole wheel, and it has all of the Legion symbols on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very controversial shirt because it has like all the different versions of the Legion. It's kind of the monitor, their monitor. Tellus was never used in the comic books, but that was the monitor one that Steve Lytle made for him. So we have that on there.
Nice.
But Bendis took my wheel and created an ad for his Legion, and it had,
oh my God,
he put a clock hand on it and put "The time is coming for Legion," and you literally stole my graphic.
Oh my God!
And made it a DC comic ad for the new Legion.
Wow. Another reason I can't stand the bastards.
I was fine. I was fine with it. Like, no, these aren't my symbols. These are symbols, and put my art out there.
So this is.
You were really amazing when you made my shirt. I still the one I love, the one with it wasn't a wheel, but it was all the just a shirt with all the
symbols in the
symbols. If you probably don't remember this, but when I ordered it, I didn't know it had a bunch of the ones that were post 5 years later. And so I felt so bad. I was like, I hate some of those. So I remember writing letters, said, "Can I just pick a different shirt?" And Eddie could have said, "Go screw yourself," or anything like that. But he said, "No, I'll change for you." That felt so. I said, "You don't have to do that." But you were so nice. You let me pick the ones I wanted on it. And man, I adore that shirt. I've worn it forever, and it's just still have it.
Yeah, great. I remember that.
That was too nice of you, man. I felt really embarrassed to show you.
I don't want this, damn.
I live by running the company the way I would want to be treated by someone who was running a company.
But it was my fault. It was my fault for ordering. I'm not looking close though. So
I had a guy here in town once who gave me a bad review, and he said I didn't like the shirt. And as I wrote, what didn't you like about the shirt? I didn't like the logo. And I said, then why did you pick that logo? He bought I think he bought an Ultra Boy shirt, Ultra Boy, and he's like, I didn't like the logo. I'm like, then why did you pick that one? And so then I gave him a Timberwolf, and he still wouldn't pull his comment down.
What a jerk off! I said the thing. I made the mistake, and I was willing to just pick a different shirt. I was fine with that. I was like, that's cool. I'll just grab another one. And but you helped, man. Like I said, it was just that touched me, and I really appreciate that. That was great.
Thank you. And that's how I run my company. If you're not satisfied with something, let me know. I'll make it right. I had a guy just recently online just slammed me. It was my fault. He ordered a shirt. It got lost in the mail. We can see that, it got lost in the mail. I said, I'll replace it. And I forgot to put it in the queue. He got me at 3 a.m. I was in bed and I said, I'll do it when I get up. Didn't cross my mind until like 2 weeks later. He said, hey, where's my shirt? And I said, I'm so sorry about that. I refunded him the money and still sent him the shirt.
Oh, man.
And he still lamblasts me online.
Man, that's terrible.
But I have enough friends like you guys are talking about that go out and stick up for me. I don't even have to go out and say anything to those people. They're like, well, I deal with Eddie all the time, and he does this for me, and I can't believe that's what he wouldn't do for you. And they gave him the riot act. So I appreciate that back too.
I have at least 3 or 4 friends of mine that have got that Ultra Boy shirt over the years. They wear it every time I see them at the con because they're just big Ultra Boy fans, and of course I love it.
I went to New York City and was walking down the street and saw someone with my Ultra Boy shirt on, and I know it's
nice.
Mine. And I walk up and I'm like, hey, that's my shirt, and he's like, no, I bought it.
Hey, what do you mean? It's my shirt.
I printed that. Yeah.
That's literally mine. Give it to me. It's mine.
It's funny.
What was it like?
I do that all the time. I'm like, that's my shirt. And they're like, no, it's mine. I'm like, no, I drew it. I drew that.
Awesome.
I went on a gay cruise about 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, and someone had this tank top on.
Oh my God.
Really? Wow.
And I said, hey, great Legion of Superheroes. He goes, you drew it. I'm like, oh, you've already heard it.
Nice.
At least he knew. That's fantastic. That he
well,
knew.
Yeah,
I was shocked. I didn't know him.
I mean, you're not modeling every shirt, but you're in the main page at the bottom, right? So they should know.
In my Green Lantern costume.
I was not aware though, that you obviously I know you didn't do the covered ones, but I was not aware that you drew the ready ones, like that those characters on your shirt are your art. I thought you had an artist or something, because I remember we were talking about if we do this giveaway you can kind of design your thing, and I was like, is your artist just gonna your artist just gonna draw whatever I say, like how's that gonna, and I'm like, oh, you are. I literally did not know till you said it like on the stream.
Oh no, I always say I'll draw anything.
That's what I was like. Well, what do you mean? I was like, what is this like? Because I've dealt with artists. Sean and I have published some books and stuff, so we've got and then they need to know. Like, you can't just, and actually could not be reached. Coincidentally, he was in the chat, is doing a cover for me right now. And it's like they need to know. I can't just be like, oh yeah, I need this, and then okay, turn it around. It's like, oh, you're actually gonna draw it. I didn't piece it together. It's like, why are you being so relaxed about this? Yeah, I'll draw. We can draw whatever you want. Well, what do you mean you could draw whatever I want? Like, what if I want something really weird? It's like, so that was crazy. I did not know that. That's awesome.
Well, so, I do 3 different series during the week. On Sundays, I put out a Legion of the Week. On Tuesdays, I put a JSAer of the week. And on Titans of the Week, on Thursday, it's a new Titan every week. So we're now up to the very old Titans. Batgirl is next, and then that ends the old Titans, and then we go into the new Teen Titans. And I have the art done for Starfire and Raven and Cyborg and those. I can't wait to bring those out. But first we have to wrap up the old ones, and then I'm going to do the East and West teams and put those on a shirt, and then we'll get into the new ones. But once we get into the Teen Titans, then you're going to see a lot of Teen Titans covered.
That'll be huge. So Teen Titans, Legion, those are big for DC. And I do listen to Rob Liefeld's podcast every week or whatever, and he's a big time mega super Titans fan, or Legion fan, and he talks about it all the time. I feel like I just want to private message him. The site's like, have you seen these shirts? I don't know if he'll then like get angry and block me or something, or be weird. I'm like, but it's like, because if you can get him on to post it, that'd be great.
Who was that? Who was it?
Rob Liefeld.
Oh, well, okay.
He loves.
I know a few of the artists and stuff, like Steven Sadowski, who did all JSAs and stuff, is a really good friend of mine. He comes down to Palm Springs and stays with us quite a few times. So I know some of the artists, and I just try to get them to do anything is incredibly hard. Like, hey, let's do a shirt. And he's like, yeah, that sounds good.
and then that just doesn't happen. Yeah, but like yeah, in any case, but what can you do? But like, yeah, just because like the Legion, it was so huge, and it was supposed to be the story he always tells, like it was supposed to be the Legion teaming up. Was it the Legion and X-Men, or what did the crossover end up being with Marvel?
It was
Titans, X-Men.
It was Titan X-Men. So I think it was supposed to be Legion.
It was supposed to be Legion and X-Men originally.
Yeah, and then it didn't. That would have been. They
even announced it in the or they mentioned it in the comic once, in the letters or something.
And then it didn't happen. But Teen Titans is huge. But Teen Titans, that's another one. I actually have New Teen Titans #1. I actually have that #1. And then I didn't read any other Teen Titans thing after. I don't know why. I got them all on digital. I have everything on digital now, like through Comixology, which is now merging with Kindle. So I'm really barfing over that. I hate that idea, but. I bought all the stuff through Comixology, which is the digital versions of all these things. So I've got all that, but I haven't read it. So I was like, I started reading Teen Titans so it's like as soon as I started seeing you doing all the Teen Titans, I love Robin, which is weird too, because again, I love Superboy, I love Robin. Robin, if I had to pick, it's like Superman, Batman, Robin. I just count Robin as part of Batman, so I don't. Because as a kid, I liked Robin more than Batman. Like when I watched Adam West, I liked Robin the best. I was like, oh, he's the best character. I met Burt Ward and we talked a long time because there's like nobody in his line and I was first. So we talked a long time, but I love Robin. So anything Robin related, like I've got toys of every Robin, all 4 of them, or if you count Carrie as well, I got her, and I've got like keychains and all that. So I love all of the Robins. And then I was like, I should get into Teen Titans, so then I started, you're doing all the Teen Titans. So I was like, man, I got to read this stuff. But JSA, that I'm pumped up for from whenever, I don't know how many years ago. Like JSA is like awesome. I love the JSA. I wish they could I don't know. I feel like they're kind of there right now. They're kind of there, but not. It's weird. It's almost like they're an afterthought. Like
I honestly don't know what DC's doing in comics right now. I haven't bought a comic in months. Yeah. Ever since the last Legion comic.
Right. Oh, so yeah, that's been a while.
So that's the only ones I've been buying. I don't want to get into another 52 moment where I get involved with a character and then have, now we're gonna boot it back, I can't handle that with it's just like TV shows when they come out with 2 years of a TV show and then they don't wrap it up and they just cancel the show. I can't stand it.
Yeah, like anything on Sci-Fi Network, no matter what it is, like anything.
Yeah.
Like literally anytime my wife's like, well, this looks interesting, I'm like, before you say anything, it's on Sci-Fi. I'm not sure. I'm like, right. I have a friend, the 35 years friend. He's like, he will not read anything, watch it until the series is complete. And I was like, you gotta do Game of Thrones. He's like, nope, not reading it. He's like, I'll read it when. I was like, you're never gonna read it because like I started with Blood and what's the Fire and Blood. Book 1 of 2. I'm like, really? I'm 450 pages into House of the Dragon, which is Fire and Blood, and then I'm like, I didn't even know. I was like, I thought this was the full book. No, it's not. I didn't read Game of Thrones. My wife did. She read it all, and we watched the shows. And I watched all the shows. I got toys and all that. And I watched House of the Dragon. I'm like, let me read the book, and I'm 450 pages in before I found out that he didn't write the second part yet. It's a 2-part book. I'm like, oh great. So I stopped cold right there. I'm like, okay, I'll just watch the show. But they always cancel stuff, and you're like, oh, you get into it, and then it's canceled. At least do a wrap up, like do a 2-hour special, wrap this sucker up, it's irritating.
Yeah. I find DC Comics, they run their company almost like Game of Thrones wrote his thing. We're gonna something, and then we're gonna kill it.
Right.
We're just gonna make it terrible on issue 2 or the second movie is going to be horrible. So.
Right. Yeah, I can't. I go every Tuesday. I get all the Superman stuff. I don't mind the Superman stuff right now. It's kind of neat. I actually like Sandman. That was kind of cool. It's like Wesley Dodd's Sandman. So I mean, I like some of the stuff. Marvel, I don't buy. I'll get stuff digital here and there, but I just can't. I don't know. Marvel's just like a mess in comics for me right now. It's just a total mess. Like. I liked Joe Fixit, which was written by Peter David, but it was Grey Hulk, and all it was Joe Fixit fighting guys. I'm like, perfect. If you're not going to tell a story then just have Hulk beat the shit out of it. Like he fought Rhino, like just have him fight a bunch of guys, and then at least I can enjoy the comic and not worry too much about anything. If you don't have a story, I'm okay with no story. But then I want lots of cool action and art. Don't or give me a story. Like you got to figure out what you want to do. If you don't have a story, it better be super action, big epic fights. And if you can't do that, then the story better be damn good, or have a mixture of a good story with epic fights. Work in the fights, right?
That's like the Street Fighter version of comics. Like we'll just keep this one battles this one, and then this one battles this one. It's like Hulk War,
right?
When they did Planet of Hulk or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody had to have a chance to try to beat the Hulk, and then he gets bopped one punch at the end, and we're done. You know,
Yeah, it was Planet Hulk, World War Hulk,
World War Hulk.
Yeah, no story whatsoever. It was just somebody has to beat him, and then they get the Sentinel to come out. A Sentinel, right?
Sentry.
Yeah, come out with one punch, and he's done, and then we're
Right.
Terrible storyline.
Yeah, who's this guy? It's like,
I liked the Sentry miniseries.
Well, they had that whole fake out that he's really like an old hero that you've
that everyone's forgotten,
and it's all BS.
He's the Marvel equivalent of Superman that everyone has forgotten.
Yeah, he was like can't leave the house, right? Like,
agoraphobia. He has agoraphobia, whatever it's called, agoraphobia. Yeah, but then the villain Sentry or the villain was the same guy. Like he was the villain and the hero, wasn't he? I had the miniseries.
Yeah,
I haven't read that since it came out.
That was okay, but
which I thought was okay. Yeah.
It was just a Street Fighter thing. It was like, oh, let's just put this one up against this one.
Yeah, right. And I love Street Fighter. Been playing Street Fighter since that's the only game I play. I've been playing since Street Fighter 1, but that's a video game, not a story that you're supposed to be invested in.
I rest my case then.
Yes. All right. Well, we've gone 2 hours 26. We're gonna
wrap her up.
Actually, wrap her up. We've gone. This went by real fast. Actually, like this was like crazy fast. It was normally we don't even go this long. Let me get to the thing. So, Clubby, are you going live tonight?
About a half hour. Yeah,
about half an hour.
It's Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk, and it's Doctor Who month, so I'm going to be reviewing the rest of that Star Trek Next Generation Doctor Who comic.
Nice. What else? It's all Doctor Who stuff this
and then Wednesday night I'm counting down top 25 all-time favorite Doctor Who episodes.
My wife says you can't do it. She says it's impossible. I said I think you can do it.
I invite her to come on with me, and she could give me her top 25.
And she can't do it. Her top 25 will be everything that Tom Baker's in. Like my top 25 is all of Tom Baker, and then all of John Pertwee, and then all. It's like that'll be my top. And then like you can't do that. I'm like, sure.
Your top 25,000.
Yeah, my favorite. Anything is John Pertwee in it? That's my favorite episode. But he was in like 5 seasons. I don't care. That's all.
It's a fair cop. I know, but I'm going to single out the stories. I'm a bastard.
Right, I got you.
That's like saying that episode where the Legion fought.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, having a favorite issue. Yeah, I have a favorite issue of the Legion and Fantastic Four. Legion, I don't know. Although I do love the Great Darkness saga. That might be my favorite saga.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
So my favorite Star Trek episode is the one where Spock has dialogue. So there you go. That's
come on, man. There are some great ones.
I can't pick a favorite hero or can't pick a favorite comic, or I just can't. I can't.
For me, Superman. Superman has always been there. I've got childhood pictures of me with Superman and Spider-Man. All those guys. I don't know. Superman's always been a favorite.
Well, I wear a red cape almost every Sunday out
nice.
in the community. So
cool. That is awesome.
And somebody will ask me, "Why are you wearing a cape?" I'm like, "Why are you wearing flannel?" Like, I want to.
Oh.
But then if they ask me the real story, I'll sit down and tell them the story I told today, and then they're like, "Oh shit, yeah, you wear a cape."
Wear that cape.
Oh, yeah,
you wear.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, wear that cape. Wear the hell out of that cape
for sure. All right, Sean, you got anything going on here, buddy, or you're
no, I'm still working, and right after this, I'm gonna finish something for tomorrow. Work's really bad in Q4, so then hopefully as
why you're using business term like oh man Q4 like
Q4 I know
nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it. It sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays. Remember that from Office Space?
Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Yeah, I mean, as the year ends, things will wind down. I can concentrate on the channel again, but it's still there. It's just Sean77, all sorts of cool, weird stuff there. Movie reviews, like cult movies, comics, audio dramas. It's pretty awesome. So check it out.
All right, cool. And so again, once again, it is Bearded Shirts. It's beardedshirts.com. Very easy. The link is in the description of this video, but also in the chat. It's also in the description of pretty much any video that I've done since I've found out about it that has comic book related. You know, if I'm reviewing the Terrifier Part 2, I don't know if Bearded Shirts wants to be associated with the Terrifier Part 2, but I love slasher movies, so yes, and that's just
You're
that's
a sick young man.
I am, and Clobby, please don't ever watch the Terrifier.
I will. I don't like
sure.
horror.
Like for sure, you will. But you will never speak to me again. You will like.
No,
you will
man.
think I'm absolutely. You will think I'm absolutely disturbed.
You already make me sick with all the other movies you love. So this is how could that even be any worse?
Oh, it's way worse than whatever you think. Whatever you're thinking about, it's way more harsher than that. I can't even tell you what happens in the movie because you'll be so sick and you'll be. I'm never speaking to
it's
this
not
guy.
Like Human Centipede or anything. Come on.
Well, it's not Human
Worse
Centipede, but this is close.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Human Centipede is cool. I'm not offended.
Like
by
that
Human
isn't. Jesus, yeah, wow.
Human Centipede. Well, because no, Human Centipede. No, that's
I should have even mentioned that.
And nobody wants to hear about that one.
No.
Although my friend loves it, he tried to get me to watch it so many times. I'm like, no, I'm going to pass on that. No, the one you don't. Yeah, so I'm not that. So sorry, beardedshirts.com. You've got the sale going on right now.
Yep.
What else is? And you're adding every day some shirts.
Like Sean said, Q4. We're literally the week of Black Friday, so we have a big Black Friday sale coming up, which is not going to be any better than what's going up to it. So I might give out free shipping over a certain amount, but that's I'm not trying to. Hey, you bought shirts today, and oh, you screwed you because Friday you get them for cheaper. I'm not doing that. I'm going to put some new stuff up on Friday that you couldn't get before, and it'll be like half off and stuff like that. But it'll be new stuff so that you're not. And I'll tell you the truth. When I find a good customer will order something on a Thursday, and then I put it up for sale on Friday, I write them and say, hey, I'm going to give you a credit, or I'm going to discount.
Wow.
Because I just can't. I hate that when that happens to me. I bought tickets here once for $240 to a concert, and the next day they put the tickets down to $180. So many, never go back to that concert ever again. I just don't treat people like that. So I watch my customers. Every order comes through me. I did that on purpose. Now everything comes through me so that nothing is automated. I have to touch every order that comes in. Right. So I watch what happens. I did like a sale on Saturday and Sunday. If you spend over $100, I get to pick out an extra shirt. And I
saw that in the newsletter.
The two people, I had one come in exactly at $100. I'm like, well, I did say over $100.
Technicality.
He's only bought pints from me, so I don't even know his size. So I have to write him and say, hey, you did this. One came in at $98.37, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna give him it. I'm gonna
softy.
Like, you didn't read my newsletter, and I can't say.
Right. Yeah, just buy the buttons. They're like $1 or whatever. Just tack something on just to make it.
Keep an eye on the newsletter. I write it every day. I get up in the morning, and that's what I do until I put it out. And new things are going to be popping. Brand new products. We're going to do a whole sweatshirt line coming out. Hoodies and regular sweatshirts. So and some cool stuff. I want to do some like cosplay sweatshirts with the hoods that come up with different things.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna have some fun stuff as long as I can get some time to get it all done. So.
That's awesome.
We're gonna have a lot of really cool things coming up at Bearded Shirts. So keep an eye on it. Keep on the newsletter. So if you're anybody not on the newsletter, get on the newsletter. So that it's really easy. Just sign up right there on the website. All right. Anybody else that we have to say? That anyone else pop in that we missed? No, we said hi to your Muslim uncle, man. How's it going, brother?
Hey, Muslim uncle. What's up, dude? Long
Doctor Who is on Tubi. The classic Doctor Who is on Tubi, but I own it all on DVD or Blu-ray, so I don't need no.
Of course,
I don't need no Tubi. But
who has time to watch all this?
I literally I read comics and watch. So I like the Gilded Age, which is a Julian Fellows show. I love Julian Fellows stuff, Downton Abbey, all that. So I love Gilded Age. I'm massively obsessed with it. So I'm watching it, and that's the only thing I watch that I don't, But anything else, if I'm watching, I'm reading a comic and watching, and I can do multitasking or whatever. So yeah, I like Terrifier 2 and the Gilded Age. So I'm a very complicated, person. Anyways, all right. Well, thank you to everybody in the chat for joining us. Thank you if you're watching this. On a repeat or after the fact. Eddie, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate this. It's great.
It was a lot of fun.
Indeed.
All right. Well, and again, if you ever want to come on, you'll see, like, I'm posting those streams. If it's any issues that you like, that you'll see, because I'll put them in the thumbnail. If you like any of those and you want to pop in, it's always the same time.
Absolutely.
So you're definitely welcome to come in anytime. So again, guys, no streams for the rest of the week. I'm on vacation. And then 1 week from today, we're back with more Legion.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it for that. Remember, so yeah.
Well, we're it's the 3 best comics ever, Clobby. So that's
Damn it, I hate to miss. I'll be in Orlando, dude.
Yeah. Well, you could be on vacation and do a lot of cool stuff and have a lot of fun, or you could be here, whatever.
Sean, make sure you sabotage it for me so he doesn't have a good time without me.
I'll try, man.
It'll be we'll be like this, like. And then this, I won't do the voices. Clobby does all the voices for all the.
That's true.
You suck.
Yeah. Voices. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Then hopefully we'll see you in 1 week. Take it easy, guys.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Hey, friends, you've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.